10-game mini plans are on sale now with the New Britain Bees. Signing up for a 10-game mini plan includes a special early entrance to New Britain Stadium, a 10% discount at Bee Hive and Company, first opportunity for 2017 playoff tickets, an opportunity to throw out a first pitch, and more. For more information to get your mini plan today, visit nbbees.com/tickets and click on the mini plan tab, or call the box office at 860-826-BEES.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Cooperstown is where you, your family, and your friends can relive baseball's greatest moments and honor the all-time and your family.
It's Game 3 of a 4-game series between the New Britain Bees and the Sugarland Skeeters tonight at New Britain Stadium here in New Britain, Connecticut, as Jonathan Pettibone takes the mound for the New Britain Bees. Pettibone making his first start against Sugarland this year. He'll be opposed by the de facto ace of the Skeeters, Michael Nix, longtime member of the Sugarland roster, as the Bees look to at least secure a series split tonight in Game 3 of the 4-game series. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. My name is Chris Knobloch, joined alongside by Bryce Weiler for tonight's broadcast. And tonight, the 22 and 36 New Britain Bees take on the 26 and 32 Sugarland Skeeters here in the Hardware City. John Pettibone will take the mound for the Bees a day after the Bees and Skeeters split 2 games. Sugarland taking Game 1, 7-4, and the New Britain Bees coming back in Game 2, also with a 7-4 score, except this time New Britain was victorious. Anthony Marzi picking up his victory of the year in Game 2. Sean Gilblair his second save, highlighted by big days by Michael Kraus in both games. Kraus had a pair of triples and 4 runs batted in to go along with Jamar Walton's 2-hit, 2-run scored Game 2, and Jovan Rosa with a pair of doubles in Game 2 and a solo shot in Game 1. James Skelton also left the ball yard in the first game of the doubleheader. Today, they will turn things over to John Pettibone. The former Philadelphia Philly has scuffled a little bit as of late, although he did pick up a win in his last game, 5 innings against the York Revolution back on June 15th. He tossed 5 innings. He allowed 2 earned runs in that game, a victory. He's received decisions in his last 3 starts, 1 and 2 overall on the year, and in those starts, his longest outing, 5 innings this season. He has done it now 5 times. So he's looking for a longer outing here today against Sugarland, who he has not faced yet. Meanwhile, Michael Nix of the Sugarland Skeeters has pitched very well in his lone start against the New Britain Bees. 2 hits in 7 shutout innings. He walked 2 and he struck out 6. That was all the way back during the 6-game road trip to Sugarland early in May. Bees will roll with the same lineup they used for Game 1 of yesterday's game, with one exception. Jamar Walton out for tonight's game. Jordan Hinshaw in right field batting 8th. Meanwhile, Sugarland will use the exact same lineup as Game 1, with Albert Cordero back doing the catching after getting Game 2 off yesterday, with Wilfredo Rodriguez slotting in. We'll be back in a moment here on the New Britain Bees Broadcast Network with the starting lineups, the national anthem, and the first pitch live from New Britain Stadium. Skeeters and Bees coming up next.
From lazy days by the shore to exciting nights on the town, Connecticut can be a pretty fun place to be this time of year. But if you get behind the wheel after even just a few drinks, things will get pretty unfun pretty fast. Connecticut has zero tolerance for drunk driving. Drive sober or get pulled over.
Have you been drinking?
Or get pulled over.
Have you been drinking?
Welcome back to New Britain Stadium. Chris Knobloch joined by Bryce Weiler on tonight's broadcast as the New Britain Bees take on the Sugarland Skeeters here at New Britain Stadium. Game 3 of a 4-game series, Game 9 on the season so far. They'll play 10 in the first half, capping things off with tomorrow's Game 4 to conclude the series. Joined now by Bryce Weiler. Bryce, welcome to tonight's broadcast. How's everything going?
Thanks, Chris. Hopefully we're going to have a good commentary here today, see if New Britain can take 2 out of the 3 first games and try and go for 3 out of 4 tomorrow.
Absolutely. Should be a good game. These two teams on the lower half of the Atlantic League spectrum when it comes to record, but they've played each other very well. So far, the Bees are 2-6 against the Skeeters this year. 5 wins for the Skeeters back down in Sugarland. Bees coming away with 1 victory and then splitting the doubleheader yesterday. But New Britain, as of late, has started to right the ship, as it were. In their last 10 games, Bees are 5-5, and while 500 record, nothing to write home about, they are well below 500 on the year, so 500, hopefully the signs of more positives to come for this New Britain Bees team.
The fact that the Bees have been able to stay at 500 in the past 10 games is important, and there's the fresh start coming up as the second half begins shortly.
Absolutely. 12 games left in the first half here for the New Britain Bees. They will play a grand total of 5 at home, 7 on the road. All 7 will take place starting on Friday in Somerset. 3 games in Somerset, 4 games in Lancaster. And that will wrap up the road portion of the first half of the season. And the Bees will wrap up the first half against the Bridgeport Bluefish here on June 30th, July 1st, and July 2nd. Then they immediately go into the second half against the Somerset Patriots, who currently lead the Atlantic League and the Liberty Division with a 36-22 record. That'll be the first series of the second half of the year, and it'll be a very vital one for the New Britain Bees. Let's jump right into it. The New Britain Bees, 22-36 on the year against the Sugarland Skeeters, 26-32 on the year. New Britain 14 games back in the Liberty Division. They are eliminated from playoff contention in the first half. Sugarland still holding on, 7.5 games back of the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs in the Freedom Division. Here are the starting lineups. First for the visitors, the Sugarland Skeeters, managed by Gary Gaetti, Rafi Montevallo, the pitching coach, and Travis Scott, the player coach. Those are the 3 coaches that travel with the Sugarland Skeeters. Josh Prince, the second baseman, will lead things off. Arch nemesis of the Bees, Lance Sawadsky, will bat second. Sawadsky with 6 home runs in 69 at-bats against the New Britain Bees. 2 of those home runs, grand slams, so he's done very well against the New Britain Bees. Actually had a pair of home runs yesterday. He'll be followed by Anthony Ginsanti. Ginsanti had the longest hitting streak in the Atlantic League this year. He'll be followed by Travis Scott. Scott playing first base, batting cleanup. He had a 3-run home run in yesterday's game. In the 5 spot, Kevin Ahrens, former Lancaster Barnstormer. He'll be joined in the lineup by the man batting behind him, Joel Guzman, who will be the third baseman, former York Revolution, as is the next man, Brian Pounds, the left fielder, batting seventh. In the 8th spot, it's Albert Cordero. He will do the catching. Derek Miller, the right fielder, will bat ninth. And on the mound for the Sugarland Skeeters, Michael Nix. Nix making his second start against the Bees overall. This will be his 12th start of the year. 5-5 record, a 3.07 ERA. He's tossed 61 2/3 innings, struck out 47 and walked 20. Opponents batting .217 against Nix. Entering today's action, Michael Nix is 10th in the Atlantic League in ERA. For the New Britain Bees, they are managed by Stan Clyburn. Their hitting coach is Craig Maddox. Their pitching coach is Sean Gilblair. He's also the team's closer. And their bench coach is Daisuke Yoshida. Same lineup as Game 1 of yesterday, with one exception, Jordan Hinshaw in for Walton. Here's how the lineup builds up. Yusuke Kajimoto, the second baseman, will lead things off. He'll be followed by James Skelton, who had his 6th home run of the year. Batting second, he'll do the catching. In the 3 spot, playing consecutive game 199 in a row for the Bees, Jovan Rosa. He bats third and plays third, with Craig Maddox, the designated hitter, batting fourth. In the 5 spot, it's Connor Bierfeld. He is over in left field. John Griffin, the first baseman, follows him, batting 6th. In the 7 spot, it's Michael Krause, who leads the Atlantic League with 6 triples. He is in center field. He'll be followed by Jordan Hinshaw, the right fielder, batting 8th. He has a 10-game hit streak, the longest for the Bees so far this year. And in the number 9 slot, Michael Baca. He will be the shortstop. On the mound for the New Britain Bees, Jonathan Pettibone. Pettibone with the second lowest ERA on the Bees roster. A 1-2 record in 9 starts, a 2.80 ERA, 35 1/3 innings pitched. He has struck out 26 and walked 7. Opponents batting .254 against the former Philadelphia Philly. Weather here, a little bit of severe weather north of us, but it should be a nice night for baseball. Should be about 74 degrees. No wind right now at New Britain Stadium under clearing skies. We'll call it partly cloudy. There are some big thunderclouds off in the distance, but we should be able to have a completely weather-free game here at New Britain Stadium. Again, this is the 9th matchup between these two teams. Bryce, what do the Bees need to do in order to take some of the pressure off John Pettibone early on in today's game?
Well, if the Bees can really get on base early, or at least start working the count and make the Sugarland pitcher have to pitch, that can get New Britain early into Sugarland's bullpen, and that can always be a key. Sometimes fans get upset when a team gets retired 3 straight batters in order, but if a couple of those batters have a 8 to 9 to 10 pitch at bat, that's just almost as useful as a player getting on base.
Absolutely, and you bring that up. Last night, Jovan Rosa had an epic at-bat. It was in Game 2 against Julio DePaul, I believe. Actually, it was against Brett Marshall, the starter for the Sugarland Skeeters in Game 2. 11-pitch at-bat. That was to lead things off in the 6th inning. He would not bat again because Michael Baca would bat in his place as the 10th man to bat in his 6th inning, 5 of which came across the score, so a good count worked by Jovan Rosa in order to make that at-bat happen. New Britain wearing their home white jerseys today with the pinstripes, black numbers outlined in gold. Says Bees across the front, outlined in gold as well. Sugarland wearing their black jerseys from Game 2 of yesterday's doubleheader. Says Skeeters across the front, and call it an off-white, surrounded by blue. The numbers in blue with the white backgrounds on the back only for the Sugarland Skeeters. They're wearing their road gray pants as well for today's game. Umpires for today's contest, Jorge Terran is over at third base. Jerry Martinez, the first base umpire. Calling the balls and strikes, John Grasso here for the game tonight. We had the same crew for both games yesterday. All three have now rotated through the home plate spot. With Pettibone getting the start today, expect a relatively quick game. He's one of the quicker workers in the league, as are most of the Bees pitchers. No one faster than Kyle Simon, who is tomorrow's starter for the New Britain Bees. He'll get the start 1 year to the day that he tossed his 2-hit shutout against Somerset, as the New Britain Bees take the field here, led by Michael Krause, who will be over in center field. He and Connor Bierfeld both racing out to center field. As the Dream Team takes the field here, we will step aside and send things down to field level for the singing of the national anthem performed by our own Kellyanne Quirian for tonight's game. The 2017 New Britain Bees season is presented by Stanley Black & Decker. Bees would like to thank Stanley Black & Decker and all of our corporate sponsors, including TD Bank, tonight's sponsor, for their support of New Britain Bees baseball during the 2017 season and beyond. Let's give you the defensive alignment as the Dream Team leads the field. And Jonathan Pettibone starts his warm-up tosses from left to right across the outfield. Connor Bierfeld in left, Michael Kraus in center. Jordan Hinshaw is in right. Around the horn, starting at third, Jovan Rosa, the third baseman. Michael Baca is at short. Yusuke Kajimoto plays second, and John Griffin will be at first. Doing the catching for John Pettibone will be James Skelton. Pettibone's last start coming against the York Revolution. It was last on June 15th. Get my days mixed up already. In that game, which was last Thursday, Pettibone going the first 5 innings, allowing 2 earned runs. His offense picked him up in a big way, because by the time he left the game, New Britain had scored 4 runs, all of which coming in the first 2 innings. Bees have allowed their opponent to score first in the last 3 games, but just 3 of the last 11 games, at one point scoring first in 8 straight contests, were the New Britain Bees. They are also facing a Sugar Land team that, despite yesterday's win, has just won 2 games out of their last 10. Bryce, any final words of wisdom as we wait for Pettibone to toss to Josh Prince?
Hopefully here Pettibone can start with a good start and just not really get caught up. Sometimes, you know, pitchers like to go fast. They get going too fast. They don't think about their pitches sometimes. Hopefully he can have a good thought process and really select good pitches.
Josh Prince steps in from the right side, a .251 average, 3 home runs and 22 RBIs. 2 of those 3 home runs coming against the New Britain Bees. In fact, they both came in the same game back on May 5th. Bees had responded with their own multi-home run hitter in that game. That would be Jake McGuigan, who's on the bench for tonight's contest. Prince is in, Skelton's ready, Pettibone kicks, winds, and fires. First pitch misses inside, a fastball from Pettibone, ball 1. We are underway at 6:39 p.m. here. Game time temperature 74 degrees, feels a lot warmer thanks to how muggy it is and the lack of wind. The 1-0, another fastball misses into Prince. 2 balls, no strikes. So not the exact start Pettibone wanted as he falls behind the first batter.
But a strike in here would make it 2-1 and put him back in decent shape.
Indeed, a strike pumped right down the heart of the plate. Prince was waiting for that first strike. Count 2 balls and 1 strike. All fastballs so far for John Pettibone. This fastball hammered down towards left field. Backing up is Bierfeld. This ball is gone. Prince hits his 3rd home run of the year against the New Britain Bees. And on a 2-1 pitch, Prince goes yard out to left. It's 1-0 Sugarland. That's definitely not the start Pettibone was looking for.
Tough start there. He got down 2-0 in the count. Got a strike in. Would have been a chance for Prince to swing at that 2-0 pitch. He took it, and 2-1, he sent it out of the ballpark.
4th home run allowed by John Pettibone this year. As now stepping in, Lance Zawadski. Zawadski's been very good against the New Britain Bees. 6 home runs and 69 at-bats, including 2 grand slams. First pitch, fastball over the outside corner for a called strike. Last time Pettibone allowed a first-inning run was when he allowed 7 of them, 6 unearned against the Somerset Patriots. That was a couple weeks ago.
12 days ago, I was doing that game with you too.
Yeah, absolutely. That was June 9th. As the 0-2 pitch misses well off the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Another fastball from Pettibone.
You're trying to get the next 8 days off the calendar too quickly. Strike.
Called 3rd strike, and Zawadski goes down looking. A changeup in from Pettibone. Zawadski looking dead red. He did not offer, so a strikeout looking. That's the first strikeout of the game for Pettibone, and every strikeout by the New Britain Bees here at home this season will go strikeout domestic violence at the Prudence Crandall Center. So far, $10 on the night donated by Beacon Pharmacy to the Prudence Crandall Center. As the first pitch to Anthony Ginsanti is in for a strike, another fastball from Pettibone. Ginsanti, a .321 average, 3 home runs, 18 RBIs from Stamford, Connecticut. The 0-1 is popped down the right field side, giving chases Griffin. He'll peel off as that ends up in the lower bowl, and the count quickly 0-2 to Ginsanti.
The player doesn't want to chase too hard down those lines. There's a hard chain link fence covered by a slight bit of piping, but isn't very soft either, so you don't want to be running into that too hard.
The 0-2 misses down low with the breaking ball. That dusted up the left-handed batter's box a little bit. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So far this year, the New Britain Bees have 170 strikeouts at home, by the way. That's $1,700 donated to the Prudence Crandall Center. This one sent out towards shortstop. Up with it is Baca. Fires a low throw, dug out by Griffin. That'll be out number 2. So after the home run, Pettibone comes back to get the first 2 outs of the inning. And now Travis Scott will step in from the left side. Scott, .246 average, 7 home runs and 32 RBIs. His home run and RBI totals include the 3-run jack he had in yesterday's game. That was in Game 1. Game 2, he had an RBI double in the 7th. That run charged to Nate Rowe. First pitch, fastball, just misses off the plate and away. Ball 1. Pettibone working quickly, rocks and deals. This fastball in on the hands, and it's looped back to the screen. 1 ball and 1 strike. Deep breath for Pettibone. He steps and delivers. Another fastball stays well away. That was a straight fastball. Ended up being about letter high and halfway through the right-handed batter's box. 2-1. Pettibone deals. Another fastball stays off the plate while closer. Still outside the zone.
He's pulled it back in a little bit, but not close enough to get that strike call.
The 3-1 misses high, just over belt height, ball 4. First free pass issued by Pettibone. As now there's a runner at first, and coming to the plate, Kevin Ahrens.
With it being the first inning, neither team has really been able to establish the length and width of the home plate umpire strike zone, so that could be a little tougher of an issue here for Pettibone, being the first pitcher to pitch in this ball game.
Ahrens steps in, batting .285 for the Sugarland Skeeters. 5 home runs, 31 RBIs. Takes a breaking ball right down the middle for strike 1. That just nabbed the bottom of the zone. Pettibone sets himself. Scott not a base-stealing threat. This fastball just hits the outside corner. Good location from Pettibone. He's got Aarons in an 0-2 hole.
So he doesn't want to fall behind, or he's probably going to try and waste a pitcher in the dirt, see if he'll go chase it.
This one slashed down the right field line. It'll bang off the bleachers up at the second level of seating, out of play. Hard hit, but a late swing by Aarons. Nothing into the count. Travis Scott over at first base. Pettibone 20 pitches into the first inning. He delivers again and just misses with the breaking ball off the corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pettibone draws up to the letters. The 1-2. This fastball sent deep out towards center. Backing up is Kraus towards the Stanley sign in left center. He will make the catch, and the side is retired. Sugar Land leaves a man on, but they get the first run of the game. The solo shot to lead things off by Josh Prince. And after half an inning, Sugar Land 1, New Britain coming up here on the New Britain Bees Broadcast Network.
Baseball to your summer? 10-game mini plans are on sale now with the New Britain Bees.
At True Timber, we pour everything we have into the details of our pattern. We source from the land, from the grass, from the trees, from the hunt. We only use the highest quality, real-life digital photography to create our pattern, because there's a difference between looking real and being real. True Timber, where almost real isn't real enough.
Can't get a signal? So annoying, right?
Yeah, and I'm late for a job interview.
Hey man, can you just nix it for like 2 seconds? Thank you. You need Verizon. They have the largest, most reliable 4G LTE network in America. It's made to work in places like this. With Verizon Unlimited, we could video chat the interview in HD right here.
Okay.
Hey man, I'll cue you.
When it really, really matters, you need the best network and the best unlimited. Just $45 per line for 4 lines.
I am a people person.
Modern life deserves a modern way to pay. On your phone and online, so you don't miss his first birthday.
Tickets. I MasterPassed it.
MasterPass, the secure way to pay from your bank. Don't just buy it, MasterPass it.
Live baseball's greatest moments and honor the all-time greats of the game. Plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org.
Yusuke Kajimoto set to lead things off here for the New Britain Bees. In the bottom half of the first, New Britain's going to have to come from behind in this one. Sugar Land leads 1-0 on a Josh Prince home run. It'll be Kajimoto, Skelton, and Rosa due up for the New Britain Bees against Michael Nix. Let's give you the defensive alignment for the Sugar Land Skeeters from left to right across the outfield. Brian Pounds in left, Anthony Ginsanti in center, and Derek Miller over in right. Round the horn starting at third, Joel Guzman, the third baseman. Kevin Aarons is at short. Josh Prince at second, and Travis Scott at first. Albert Cordero does the catching for Michael Nix. Every home run hit here at New Britain Stadium is a Stanley Tape Measure Challenge shot. Each Bees home run at home will be a $100 donation to House of Heroes, this year's local charity. So far, 20 home runs at home, $2,000 donated to House of Heroes so far. First pitch to Kajimoto was down and in for a ball 1. Now Nix will grab the outside corner with a fastball to even the count at 1. Kajimoto batting .297 on the year, 2 home runs and 11 runs batted in. One of those 2 home runs here at New Britain Stadium earlier this year. 1-1 from Nix, who takes a while through his windup. This one's chopped foul. Will be fielded by Michael Baca in the Bees dugout. It took 2 hops, hopped over the railing, and Baca was there to get it. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Personnel block joined by Bryce Weiler for tonight's game. Bees trail 1-0 so far through half an inning of play. Nix adjusts his pitch, now goes through his full windup, the 1-2. This one, check swing grounder out towards second. Prince is up with it. He will underhand it to Travis Scott to get out number 1, and Kajimoto is retired. That brings James Skelton to the plate. He actually appeared in both halves of the doubleheader, coming on as a defensive replacement for Connor Bierfeld, who came on for Ivan Villascusa in the 6th inning as a pinch hitter. It's a pinch hit, 2-run single for Bierfeld. Game 1, Skelton was 2 for 4 with his 6th home run of the year. He's also got 12 RBIs and a .257 average. He takes strike 1. Fastball in. Skelton leads the Atlantic League in walks and on-base percentage, 46 walks and a .431 on-base percentage. Left-handed hitter steps out, now adjusts himself in the left-handed batter's box. Trail foot, his left foot, all the way back on the rear chalk line. As strike 2 pumped in by Nix. A changeup, it looked like, over the outside corner.
That's a tough choice that Mr. Stan Clyburn has to make about pitch hitting for your catchers, because when you do that, the other catcher has to come in, then you hope it doesn't go into extra innings or no one gets hurt or things like that.
Fastball just misses. 1-2 the count. Incidentally, if the Bees needed a third catcher on the roster, it would likely be Craig Maddox, the designated hitter, who came up as a catcher. If not him, then Michael Baca, by virtue of being the low man on the infield totem pole.
Wouldn't you then have the pitcher batting as well?
If you pulled Maddox, yes.
That would be interesting.
That would be interesting. Sugarland has had their pitchers bat. They went with 8 position players and a pitcher in a lineup, as has Bridgeport this year. As Skelton has managed to work the count back from 0-2 to full, thanks to a pair of breaking balls inside and in the dirt from Nix.
I hate to ask the tough question of you, but do you know if any of these pitchers made it on base?
Yes, actually, so for Bridgeport earlier this year, you'll see their best batter is Corey Reardon, a pitcher, because he went 2 for 4. So
500's pretty nice.
500's pretty good. Small sample size, but he did pretty well. I haven't gone through all of Sugarland's, but they've had a couple pitchers reach base. Dustin Richardson is 1 for 1, so he's batting 1,000.
You can't say that very much in your life.
You really can't. Yeah, that's a good one.
Laundry or anything.
He's the only pitcher to have it hit. However, he's not the only hitter to pitch, as Jeremy Barfield, who's now with the Double-A Portland Sea Dogs, pitched in a game for Sugarland. He's also pitched in a game for Portland this year, and he's an outfielder by trade. 2016 Atlantic League Player of the Year. Skelton, by the way, has walked down to first, his 47th walk of the year. He takes a short lead as the first pitch, a breaking ball away to Rosa. Ball 1. 260 the average to Jovan. 5 home runs, including one yesterday when he and Skelton went back-to-back. 28 runs batted in. Playing in his consecutive game number 199 for New Britain. If all goes as planned, he'll hit 200 tomorrow. 1-0, fastball. Just nabs the outside corner. Tough pitch from Nix. 1-1 the count. 200
for Mr. Rosa and 200 games for the New Britain Bees.
And there's some nice symmetry to it.
He's been in all of
it. Yeah, when he's played every game, not just in team history, but in franchise history, because it was a brand new franchise, that's pretty special. Even Cal Ripken couldn't say that. The 1-1. Strike over the inside corner, despite the fact that Rosa bent out of the way. 1-2 the count.
That shows really being a durable player and being willing to endure being injured or hit by balls and things like that.
Absolutely. There were a couple games earlier this year where it was a little touch and go if Jovan could get himself into the game due to those injuries and just wear and tear. I mean, there's a lot.
You can catch the flu, you can eat some bad food.
This one grounded out towards third to the backhand Guzman. He will fire to second for 1. Relay throw is not in time. It'll be a fielder's choice as Rosa will reach base. Skelton out 5-4. On the throw from Guzman, it was a nice stab made over at third base by the former Tampa Bay Devil Rays. Not the Tampa Bay Rays, but Tampa Bay Devil Rays third baseman.
That shows you how long ago he played for Tampa Bay.
Absolutely. His last year in Tampa was 2007. Joel Guzman. As now Craig Maddox steps to the plate. Left-handed hitter batting .239. 3 home runs and 28 RBIs. 2 down in the inning. Runner over at first is Rosa, who is not as fast as Skelton was. So he'll take about a half-size lead over at first. Good secondary lead as the first pitch drops in for a strike to Maddox.
Guzman left Tampa Bay a little too soon. Had he waited, he could have won in their playoff run.
Yeah, bad timing. As soon as he left, they got rid of the devil in their name and went to the World Series. Shame how that worked for him.
That was 2008 when they lost to Boston, right? Boston.
They beat Boston. That was David Price,
Okay.
the David Price year where he came out of the bullpen. In 2008, 2007 was the year that the Red Sox won their second World Series. And the next year they lost to Tampa in the ALCS, and then Tampa lost to the Philadelphia Phillies, who incidentally that year drafted both Jonathan Pettibone and former Bee Anthony Hewitt to their team. It's always 6 degrees of separation to a New Britain Bee. 1-1 the count to Craig Maddox. Open stance from the left side. This is sent foul out towards left.
That's right, because 2007 was when Boston played Colorado, and Colorado made it into the playoffs because they had that one-game series with San Diego, and Matt Holliday drove that run in on the sacrifice fly.
And they won something like 17 straight games or something like that. They went on this impressive winning streak in September to make the one-game playoff, and then won the one-game playoff as well.
My friend Mr. Clint Hurdle had a good year that year.
Yes, he did. Absolutely. 1-2 pitch coming to Maddox. Slashed foul down the left field line. It'll make it into Bee Hive field next door. Connor Bierfeld waits on deck. He and Michael Kraus tied for the Bees lead with 10 home runs each. Kraus with 10 home runs through 58, now 59 team games played. Last year he had 10 home runs and 125 games played total. The 1-2 to Maddox, breaking ball, misses away. Snap throw back to first. Rosa will retreat, and he'll get back with plenty of time, as Cordero's trying to catch him napping. Certainly not a base-stealing threat. More just an opportune throw.
He just
counted
waited
into 2-2.
Waited for a second to throw that ball down to first to make it seem like he wasn't going to, and then send it down there. But I'm sure the dugout and everyone told him to get back. If he wasn't paying attention, he got helped out.
This one grounded up the middle. Over to plate is Aaron's the shortstop. He'll flip it to second base where Prince is covering. And the side is retired. So the Bees get a base runner by way of a walk. They do not do anything with him. And after one full inning of play, 1-0 Sugarland over New Britain here on the Bees Broadcast Network.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime.
From lazy days by the shore to exciting nights on the town, Connecticut can be a pretty fun place to be this time of year. But if you get behind the wheel after even just a few drinks, things will get pretty unfun pretty fast. Connecticut has zero tolerance for drunk driving. Drive sober or get pulled over.
Have you been drinking?
So, Amara, you're a Verizon engineer. Tell me, what's one really good reason why the Samsung Galaxy S8 is better on Verizon?
Well, we have the largest 4G LTE network in America.
Yeah, that's a pretty good reason.
And the most reliable. And with unlimited, you get full HD video.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's 2, maybe even 3 reasons right there.
It's exactly 3.
Okay, sure, whatever you say.
If you really, really want the best, switch to Verizon Unlimited and get the Galaxy S8 for just $15 a month.
I saw you take those phones, you know.
No, you didn't.
Modern life deserves a modern way to pay. On your phone and online, so you don't miss his first birthday.
Tickets.
I MasterPassed it.
MasterPass, the secure way to pay from your bank. Don't just buy it, MasterPass it.
Bee Hive and Company, first opportunity for 2017 playoff tickets, an opportunity to throw out a first pitch, and more. For more information and to get your mini plan today, visit nbbs.com/tickets and click on the mini plan tab, or call the box office at 860-826-BEES.
Joel Guzman will lead things off for the Sugarland Skeeters in the top of the second inning. Guzman, Pounds, and Cordero due up as the first pitch from John Pettibone nabs the outside corner for strike 1. Guzman, a .216 average, 5 home runs, 19 runs batted in. Split time between Sugarland and York. Joined the Skeeters earlier this week. Actually, technically last week during the series against Bridgeport. He was released by York right before game 1 of the doubleheader against the New Britain Bees last Tuesday. This one chopped towards third. Low throw from Rosa, dug out by Griffin, who's very adept at digging out those low throws, and that will be out number 1.
Guzman got on top of that ball and sent it down to third.
Very high chopper, but it settled right down.
Those are going to be tough to field, especially if they hit it off the plate, because it gets a different bounce.
Yes, it looked like it hit right off the lip of the infield grass, right outside of the batting circle. And that's what allowed it to settle right before Rosa. So coming to the plate now, Brian Pounds, 179 average, 3 home runs, 16 RBIs. Again, combining his time with York and Sugarland as the first pitch fastball is in there for a strike.
Yeah, they got 2 back-to-back former York teammates in their order.
If you look through their order, Zawadzki's a former Barnstormer. Then Jinsanti is a former Bluefish. Scott has been a longtime Skeeter. Then you have Aaron's a former Barnstormer. Guzman, a former member of the Revolution. Same with Pounds. That's 5 members of other Atlantic League teams from last year. And 3 members of other Atlantic League teams from this year. Aaron's, Guzman, and Pounds, all in order, were acquired this season by the Sugarland Skeeters after starting the season with another Atlantic League team.
That's got to be tough for a Major League player to move teams like that. It's got to be even harder for someone in the Atlantic League to move around.
This one is popped out towards shallow center. Coming in is Kraus. He'll make the catch in left center for out number 2. It's a good point to bring that up, but a lot of these guys, with the exception of Guzman, are from Texas or from the South.
And it's not as bad.
It's not as bad because Sugarland, of course, is the only team down south of the Mason-Dixon line.
But if you weren't from Texas, it'd be quite a haul to go from New York to Texas and sell your house.
Yes, absolutely. A lot of Atlantic League players rent housing or are given host families during the season, kind of like what they do in minor league baseball, or affiliated minor league baseball, I should say. This is still minor league baseball. So the first pitch to Cordero is in for a strike. Cordero played in game 1 of the doubleheader as he swings and misses at a fastball away. 0-2 the count. He went 0 for 4 and struck out 3 times. Batting at .263 on the year. Cordero. The 0-2 coming from Pettibone. This one's slapped back to the screen, foul.
It's important for the managers to always give their catchers some rest because squatting down and all that can really wear and tear on someone's knees.
Absolutely.
Thankfully for this league, they don't have AstroTurf on their fields. That makes it doubly worse.
That is very, very true, as this pitch misses low and inside. Now, the notable exception to that rule is James Skelton, who played 113 games last year, of which all but about, I believe it was 3 or 4 were his catcher. The other ones, he was the second baseman for the Bees. So he can play middle infield. He can also play center field, although he hasn't done that for New Britain, as the count evens at 2-2 to Cordero.
I bet you Skelton was pretty happy to have those 3-4 games to stand out there and just field some ground balls and pop-ups and not have to call signs and everything the entire game.
The person least happy about that was Nick Murphy, the backup catcher last year, who had to catch every one of those games for the New Britain Bees. That was at a point where the Bees' regular second baseman last season, Jonathan Roof, was playing left field. Because of injuries that the Bees had sustained, their solution was to sign Cole Garner. And Casey Frawley swung on and missed by Cordero. A high fastball. And that's strikeout number 2 for Pettibone as he sets the Skeeters down in order. 1-2-3 at the top of the second. To the bottom half of the inning we go. 1-0 Sugarland over New Britain here on the New Britain Bees Broadcast Network.
Some base.
At True Timber, we pour everything we have into the details of our patterns. We source from the land, from the grass, from the trees, from the hunt. We only use the highest quality, real-life digital photography to create our patterns, because there's a difference between looking real and being real. True Timber, where almost real isn't real enough.
Can't get a signal? So annoying, right?
Yeah, and I'm late for a job interview.
Hey man, can you just nix it for like 2 seconds? Thank you. You need Verizon. They have the largest, most reliable 4G LTE network in America. It's made to work in places like this. With Verizon Unlimited, we could video chat the interview in HD right here.
Okay.
Hey man, I'll cue you.
When it really, really matters, you need the best network and the best unlimited. Just $45 per line for 4 lines.
I am a people person.
Modern life deserves a modern way to pay. On your phone and online, so you don't miss his first birthday.
Tickets. I'm Matthew Passed it.
MasterPass, the secure way to pay from your bank. Don't just buy it, MasterPass it.
Family and your friends can relive baseball's greatest moments and honor the all-time greats of the game. Plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org.
Bottom of the second inning, Connor Bierfeld will lead things off for New Britain. Trail 1-0 to the Sugarland Skeeters. It'll be Bierfeld, Griffin, and Kraus. Between them, 23 home runs, 10 for Bierfeld, 10 for Kraus, 3 for Griffin so far on the year. They'll all bat here in the second inning against Michael Nix. Nix issued a walk in the first inning. That's the only blemish on his record. The pitch. Breaking ball over the inside corner, a called strike, as Bierfeld was looking for a fastball, surprised by the breaking ball. The 0-1, this one's also a breaking ball. One hopped out towards Aarons at second, and he will fire over to first in plenty of time to get Connor Bierfeld. So that's out number 1 here in the second inning.
Hopefully the Bees can start to take a few more pitches here and lengthen out the at-bat. Pitchers like to pitch at-bats, don't they?
Quick at-bats, always helpful for a pitcher, especially early on in the game. Nix has thrown 22 pitches to get 4 outs.
And the defense, because if you have a quick at-bat, you're not standing around forever waiting on a ball to come your way.
That is also very true, although the Skeeters defense probably enjoying standing in the Connecticut heat compared to the summertime Texas heat.
That's why they have to start all their games at night, right? They have Sunday night games and things out there, right?
They have some late games on Sundays. Last year when we were out there for the 4th of July, on-field temperature at first pitch for a 7-inning game on the 4th of July was 114 degrees. It was warm.
Was it a doubleheader day?
No, they did a 7-inning game on the 4th of July for a massive post-game fireworks show. As this is grounded out towards right field past the second baseman Prince, and Bees have their first base hit of the game, an 0-2 single for John Griffin. On the 4th of July last year, they did a 7-inning game, which lasted
up. Special permission for that,
yep,
right? You
special
can't
permission for that one. Yes, absolutely. It was the first time.
White won't stand for that.
Yeah.
Rick White, the commissioner.
It was the first time they had done a 4th of July game in Texas in their 5 years in the league, so obviously it was a big deal. And the fireworks show that happened after the game was almost as long as the game itself. The game was about an hour and 55 minutes, and then the fireworks show was in about an hour. It was spectacular fireworks. There's actually an airfield across the street from Constellation Field, and that, I think, is where they set off the fireworks, because they were huge. We do good fireworks shows here at New Britain Stadium. We have neighbors to care about. Sugarland does not, and they just let off a bunch of fireworks for an hour. 1-0 the count to Michael Kraus, a .276 average, 10 home runs and 30 runs batted in. He takes another ball off the plate, 2-0. Griffin down at first base. Not really a base-stealing threat there.
If you think about all of the various holidays throughout a baseball season where teams can have promotions or set off fireworks or things, there's Mother's Day, Memorial Day, Father's Day, 4th of July, and Labor Day. It's always interesting to see how they rotate when someone's going to be home on which day for each season, because it really is different things you can do for each day.
Absolutely. We actually have the Father's Day promotion for us. Since Father's Day was Sunday and we were on the road, we're actually doing it tomorrow. It's presented by Univision, and it's pregame catch on the field. All dads get in for $5. We also have the 4th of July game this year, but we're doing a special 2:05 start time as part of New Britain's ongoing festivities throughout the day, particularly at Stanley Quarter Park. So we'll have an earlier game. People come watch some baseball on the 4th of July, go watch the fireworks later on. It'll be a great day. And we'll be doing our pre-4th of July fireworks on July 1st against Bridgeport, which should be a great fireworks show. 3-1 pitch instead. Nix will check on the runner over at first base. Griffin is back standing. Bees will be in Long Island for Labor Day weekend, and a special Monday game. It's a Friday through Monday series, which is very odd, but Bees will play on Labor Day. As ball 4 issued to Kraus, second free pass issued by Nix. Breaking ball away, and now there's 2 on with 1 out.
This league doesn't have many Friday through Monday wraparound series, do they? It's like the Major League.
Yeah, that's really like the Major Leagues, and that's the only one that the Bees will have played yet. Of course, the Major Leagues don't have something else that this league has, and that's the home-and-home doubleheader against Bridgeport, which will be on August 19th.
That sounds well. There once was an unscheduled home-and-home doubleheader between the Mets and the Yankees.
That's true.
You remember that?
Yes. So the Mets and Yankees have played a couple unscheduled on rain. The last scheduled doubleheader in Major League on rain. The last scheduled baseball was 1903. The last time it was scheduled and came out on a schedule, which is amazing when you think about it. The Bees will play Bridgeport in a scheduled home-and-home. Game 1 in Bridgeport, Game 2 in New Britain on August 19th.
You just got to hope that they get that game done before the traffic flow starts.
Oh, don't get me started. I'm down there too. This one grounded out towards short, could be 2. Aaron's to Prince to Scott, and Hinshaw grounds into a 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. So the Bees get their first hit. They also have a double play, and after 2 frames, 1-0 Sugar Land over New Britain here on the New Britain Bees Broadcast Network.
Bees fans, stay up to date on the latest team news and notes by following the Bees on social media.
At True Timber, we pour everything we have into the details of our pattern. We source from the land, from the grass, from the trees, from the hunt. We only use the highest quality, real-life digital photography to create our patterns, because there's a difference between looking real and being real. True Timber. We're almost real, isn't real enough.
From lazy days by the shore to exciting nights on the town, Connecticut can be a pretty fun place to be this time of year. But if you get behind the wheel after even just a few drinks, things will get pretty unfun pretty fast. Connecticut has 0 tolerance for drunk driving. Drive sober or get pulled over.
Have you been drinking?
Can't get a signal? So annoying, right?
Yeah, and I'm late for a job interview.
Hey man, can you just nix it for like 2 seconds? Thank you. You need Verizon. They have the largest, most reliable 4G LTE network in America. It's made to work in places like this. With Verizon Unlimited, we could video chat the interview in HD right here.
Okay.
Hey man, I'll cue you.
When it really, really matters, you need the best network and the best unlimited. Just $45 per line for 4 lines.
I am a people person.
Modern life deserves a modern way to pay. On your phone and online, so you don't miss his first birthday.
Tickets. I master-passed it.
MasterPass, the secure way to pay from your bank. Don't just buy it, MasterPass it.
This is the first pitch, a fastball right down the pipe for strike 1. DACO is the official transportation partner of the New Britain Bees and provides all the team's ground transportation for the 2017 season. If your group or organization needs quality transportation options, DACO's got you covered. For more information, call 800-229-4879 or visit DACO.com. And that segues nicely into what we were talking about last inning, Bryce, as DACO buses will bring us to and from our home-and-home doubleheader against Bridgeport. As lining out to left field is Miller for out number 1. So on August 19th, we will have a home-and-home doubleheader against the Bridgeport Bluefish. Technically, that will be Game 5 of a 6-game homestand for the Bees. That'll be Game 2, obviously. It'll also be Game 1 of a 4-game road trip to Bridgeport. It's very weird. We try not to think about it too much. The logistics of if we win that 1-game series kind of maybe it's not going to work. It's not going to fit neatly into a box, as this is popped out towards right, and Prince is retired for out number 2.
Prince really gave himself in easy this time, didn't he?
Yeah.
He battled the first time and hit that home run, and this time he just pops it out to right field for an easy play. He's been the only bit of trouble that Pettibone's had at this point, but
Only hit so far.
Can't take any batter or any person lightly in life, can you?
No, especially not with Lance Zawadski coming to the plate. Yeah, he struck out looking in his first at-bat, which means he's only hit 6 home runs in 70 at-bats instead, which is still pretty spectacular when you think about it. As this is flared out towards left, it'll drop in fair territory and roll towards the warning track. Zawadski thought it was a foul ball. He only reaches first base, as that managed to drop right on the chalk line. Bierfeld was running full bore. It was out of his reach no matter what, but that dropped right in fair territory, and Zawadski's on.
Whenever Zawadski gets back into the dugout, Mr. Gary Gaetti is going to tell him, you should hustle from the time you hit that ball, not stand there and watch it. He could have had second, maybe third base, right?
He definitely could have had second. I think third would have been a tough order, but...
Second for sure, because that ball was rolling out there and went out to the wall a little ways.
First pitch to Jinsanti, misses down low, ball 1. To finish the thought on the home-and-home doubleheader, so we'll play Southern Maryland for 3 games on August 15th, 16th, and 17th. We'll then play Game 1 against Bridgeport on the 18th. On the 19th, we will play at Bridgeport. Game 1 at 12:05. Game 2 is in New Britain. 12:35 start. Then we'll have post-game fireworks and the Boy Scout sleepover. Very busy day at New Britain Stadium. Then Sunday's game, 1:35 start against Bridgeport here. Then an off day on August 21st and 3 games down in Bridgeport. All commuter trips. As this is sent out towards center, reaching up is Krause. He will make the catch, and the side is retired. 1 hit in the inning, and the man is stranded aboard as Zawadski gets the bloop hit. After 2.5 innings, the score 1-0 Sugarland over New Britain here on the Bees Broadcast Network.
See why it's better with the Bees, Connecticut's most affordable, family-friendly baseball. Great action.
A baseball team, the Bees, taking shape.
Buzz about New Britain's new professional baseball team today. The new team has a name.
The Bees are calling the Hardware City home.
You haven't picked up on the buzz just yet, get it? The Bees are landing in New Britain. It's Connecticut's newest baseball team.
And line drive, base hit up the middle. Coming around is Krause. He's going to score. The throw from Dominguez is not in time. Ball game over. Bees win. Bees win. Michael Baca set to lead things off for the Bees. Bottom half of the 3rd inning. New Britain trails Sugarland by a 1-0 score. It'll be Baca, Kajimoto, and Skelton for the Bees this half inning. We'll also take a look at the Atlantic League scoreboard. Next inning, we'll have our trivia. Question in the top half of the 4th, answer in the bottom half. Play along by leaving a comment on Facebook or YouTube, or tweet us at New Britain Bees. It's a This Day in Baseball History question. First pitch to Baca misses down low, ball 1. A fastball from Nix. Baca 175 average, 1 home run, 6 runs batted in. He started game 1, came on as a pinch runner in game 2 of the doubleheader yesterday. Now taking over as the everyday shortstop for the Bees. He's ahead in the count 2-0 as another pitch misses low and away. Another pitch misses low, 3-0 the count. To the number 9 man. Nix isn't going to want to lose him. The 3-0. Ball 4. That one too far inside.
He threw 4 straight balls out of the strike zone.
4 straight
balls. How a pitcher wants to start the inning.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially not to the number 9 man with the Bees' leading hitter in average.
I'd say the 9 man or any batter. You don't want to start an inning that way.
It's very true. Kajimoto coming into the game 297 average. First time he's been below 300 since joining the Bees, but still dangerous hitter. He grounded out to second in his first at bat. So he'll bat with nobody out and a man on first. Take a look around the Atlantic League. Southern Maryland beating up York in the top of the second in York. 5-1 Blue Crabs over Revolution. Over in Lancaster, Bridgeport and the Barnstormers are scoreless. Bottom of the third. Somerset and Long Island are tied 0-0. That's in the second inning. Bethpage Ballpark in Long Island. One quick note, New Britain Stadium eliminated 51-49 by Clipper Magazine Stadium in the best of the ballparks voting, so the Bees will likely finish 9th overall in this year's competition. Thanks to everyone who voted. Over 40,000 votes between the two rounds in the best of the ballparks independent section. Appreciate all of our fans voting.
It's a tough loss there, 51-49.
Very tough loss, especially because in the first round we won 56-44 against the Schaumburg Boomers. Checking on Baca is Nix. He's back safely. The count 0-1 to Kajimoto. Remaining Atlantic League parks in the best of the ballparks. Regency Furniture Stadium, Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, Lancaster Barnstormers Clipper Magazine Stadium, and Sugarlands Park, Constellation Field. Pitch out. Kajimoto was showing bunt anyway. Baca does not go. Count 1-1. Nix, part of the inaugural Sugarland Skeeters roster in 2002. First year in the Atlantic League was 2009 for the Newark Bears. Played for Newark, York, and Sugarland, as this is flipped underhanded to first on the bunt by Kajimoto. It'll be a sacrifice bunt. 1-2-3 goes the out, and Baca up to second.
He did a good sacrifice there, didn't he? He let the ball come to him, didn't try to jab at it, let it hit off the bat, and just placed it down there. Forced the fielder to have to throw it to first.
Put it right even with the pitcher's mound. The only player to get to who could get to it was Nix, the pitcher. He only had one play, and that was to first. So now a runner in scoring position for James Skelton. Skelton walked in his first at-bat, his 47th walk of the year. The Bees' 59th game.
But sometimes you see players who don't know how to bunt, and they try to move the bat towards the ball. You need to keep the bat still so the ball comes to your bat, and so you drop it down versus try and hit it.
If anything, you can either hold the bat there for a bunt or pull it back a little bit to deaden the ball, but if you punch at it, chances are you'll pop it up in the air, and that doesn't accomplish anything. The 1-0, in for a strike. Breaking ball dropped right into Skelton. Count evens at 1-1. On deck, Jovan Rosa, who reached on a fielder's choice in his first at-bat. Nix comes to the set, time called. Skelton steps out of the box. Nix throws to second. Baca dives back as Ahrens was covering. Baca back safely. Good spin move demonstrated by Nix. Coming set again, Nix. He certainly takes his time in between pitches. Checks on Baca, now deals. Fastball over the outside corner, strike two. Infield, back at second. Prince on the outfield grass. Also playing a few steps behind the bag is Travis Scott, the first baseman. They're expecting Skelton to pull. Bit of an odd scouting report. Skelton really will hit to all fields. It's time called. Nix with a major league mentality when it comes to pitch speed, in the sense that there is none. He will take as much time as he wants despite the 12-second clock here in the Atlantic League. He is one of the slowest workers in the league, although still miles faster than Rafael Perez of Long Island. He and Rafael Bentoncourt, when they were part of the Cleveland Indians bullpen back in 07 were effectively the human rain delay. In fact, that was Bentoncourt's nickname, the human rain delay. As Skelton slapped the offering from Nix foul out of the stadium towards left field. Nix comes set. He'll check Baca again, cheating in his errands. And now, Nix will step off yet again.
Is he really concerned about that runner or just trying to pick him off? Is the runner bothering him?
I don't know if the runner's bothering him. Nix is acting like he is. I think he's just trying to change the pace on Skelton. But if anything, he's just slowing the game down.
A little bit too.
1-2. This one chopped right back to Nix. He's going to catch Baca in the rundown. Baca retreats towards second. Ball dropped by Prince. Prince will now throw to Guzman. Baca's going to give himself up as Skelton was all the way to second. And Baca is out, but not through any of the base runners or the fielders tag him. He ran outside the base paths. So Skelton is on second base, and Baca is retired as Baca managed to get caught in the rundown on a pitch back up the middle. We'll see how that's officially scored, but Nix opting to go after Baca, didn't realize that Skelton was going to get all the way to second and effectively replace him out there.
So Baca did get caught in that rundown, but the important thing was he kept himself in it long enough to get Skelton to second base.
Absolutely. That was an intentional catch. As soon as Baca saw that Nix had the ball and was coming for him.
You do whatever you can to avoid those fielders and make them throw and whatever to try and get you.
So a fielder's choice puts Skelton at second. Baca retired. First pitch misses down low. A breaking ball to Jovan Rosa. 2 outs, runner in scoring position. The Bees maintain the runner in scoring position. Just happens to be a different runner.
Because that runner on second makes a large difference with 2 outs. He can maybe score on a single.
Especially with the speed of Skelton. He's at least as fast as Baca, although he has more stolen bases, does Skelton, on the season. James has swiped 13 bags. Second on the Bees behind Michael Krause's 15. Baca has not yet stolen a base professionally. 1-1 the count to Jovan Rosa following a foul ball. Nix deals. This one chopped out towards short to the backhand errands. Long throw. It will get there in time, and the side is retired. So the leadoff walk is harmless as Bees yet again leave a man aboard. They've left 3.
At True Timber, we pour everything we have into the details of our pattern. We source from the land, from the grass, from the trees, from the hunt. We only use the highest quality, real-life digital photography to create our pattern, because there's a difference between looking real and being real. True Timber, where almost real isn't real enough.
So, Amara, you're a Verizon engineer. Tell me, what's one really good reason why the Samsung Galaxy S8 is better on Verizon?
Well, we have the largest 4G LTE network in America.
Yeah, that's a pretty good reason.
And the most reliable. And with unlimited, you get full HD video.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's 2, maybe even 3 reasons right there.
It's exactly 3.
Okay, sure, whatever you say.
If you really, really want the best, switch to Verizon Unlimited and get the Galaxy S8 for just $15 a month.
I saw you take those phones, you know.
No, you didn't.
Modern life deserves a modern way to pay. On your phone and online, so you don't miss his first birthday.
Tickets. I MasterPassed it.
MasterPass, the secure way to pay from your bank. Don't just buy it, MasterPass it.
From lazy days by the shore to exciting nights on the town, Connecticut can be a pretty fun place to be this time of year. But if you get behind the wheel after even just a few drinks, things will get pretty unfun pretty fast. Connecticut has 0 tolerance for drunk driving. Drive sober or get pulled over.
Have you been drinking?
With 1, neither team's committed an error in the series so far. It's time for our trivia question. Play along by leaving a comment on Facebook or YouTube. or tweet us at New Britain Bees. We're looking for a name as our answer. That's one hint. It's a This Day in Baseball history question as well. That's hint number 2. And the question is this. On this day in 1964, Baseball Hall of Famer and former Congressman Jim Bunning became the first pitcher in Major League Baseball history to do what? Again, on this day, June 21st, 1964, Jim Bunning became the first pitcher in Major League Baseball history to do what? Answer coming up in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Good luck and no Googling. First pitch is a ball to Scott.
This is probably a potentially easy one for someone to find if they so chose to cheat.
But that would be wrong, Bryce.
Unfair.
We wouldn't want anyone to do that as Scott flies out to center. That's normally why my trivia question is something
Yesterday's was hard, though.
Yes.
Like the road trip record or something after the Sugarland trip?
Road trip record after Sugarland.
That would be hard.
And that's kind of, we'll alternate. Some of these trivia questions, yeah, you might be able to cheat and Google them. And some questions, there's really no way to know what the answer is. So we like to alternate there. Keep everyone on their toes.
You have to give people the chance to get it right sometimes, right? So they have positive feelings about themselves.
Absolutely.
It's like sometimes, the baseball manager, he'll have, someone bunt or something like that to get on first base when they're 0 for 17.
Absolutely. And it's not every trivia question. The answer can be found by searching. If you look hard enough, you can find an answer to every one of these trivia questions, either online or most of them are actually contained on the Bees website in the statistical areas.
Or you can call your friend who's a great Bees fan and ask him or her.
That would also work. Phone a friend is encouraged, in fact. But, we got 140 games. That's a lot of questions. Sometimes we got 2 questions in a day. Some are going to be easy, and some aren't. That's just kind of how it works.
I know one day you're going to have 2 questions in a day, August 19th.
That, we're going to have 2 questions. Question number 2 is, why am I so tired, I think. How long did I sleep on the bus ride down? That'll be a good one, too. 1-2 the count to Kevin Ahrens, who flew out to center in his first at-bat. 1 out in the inning as Scott was retired on the fly out to center. Pettibone steps and deals the 1-2. This one chopped off the plate out towards short. In is Baca. He fires on the run in time, and he will get Ahrens. That will be out number 2. That brings Joel Guzman to the plate. He grounded out to Rosa, his counterpart, at third base in the 2nd inning.
Can you answer why both these teams have been hitting so many choppers in the first less than 3.5 innings? I've never heard that said so much in 3.5 innings.
Well, it looks like Pettibone is really dealing towards the inside as this one is chopped out towards short. Up with it is Baca, and he fires the first. Of course that was going to happen.
I guess you have to tell us in the bottom half.
Yeah, I guess I will, although that really did prove the point. As the side is retired in order in the top of the 4th, we head to the bottom. The score, 1-0 Sugarland over New Britain here on the New Britain Bees Broadcast Network.
Bees fans, stay up to date on the latest.
So, Amara, you're a Verizon engineer. Tell me, what's one really good reason why the Samsung Galaxy S8 is better on Verizon?
Well, we have the largest 4G LTE network in America.
Yeah, that's a pretty good reason.
And the most reliable. And with unlimited, you get full HD video.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's 2, maybe even 3 reasons right there.
It's exactly 3.
Okay, sure, whatever you say.
If you really, really want the best, switch to Verizon Unlimited and get the Galaxy S8 for just $15 a month.
I saw you take those phones,
No, you didn't.
Modern life deserves a modern way to pay. On your phone and online, so you don't miss his first birthday.
Tickets. I MasterPassed it.
MasterPass, the secure way to pay from your bank. Don't just buy it, MasterPass it.
what's happening is both pitchers are working the batters inside towards the label. And batters are swinging over the top. When they get a piece of it, it's chopping right towards the circle around home plate, which is on the drier side right now because of batting practice. It wasn't sprayed down all that recently. So it's playing a little bit harder, and that's causing these high chops out towards the infield. The infield itself has been sprayed down. It was sprayed down right before the game. And that's why the field is playing to a lot of chopped ground balls.
Because just like when a ball bounces off of any hard surface, it's going to bounce higher, whether it's off of some slightly hard dirt on a on a baseball field, or the smooth hardwood of a basketball court.
Count 2-2. So really what it is if it made it onto the grass outside of the batter's circle, it would have a chance to move a little bit more. Maybe it would deaden out a little bit. But because they're off the label and they're being spun over, they're just barely going off the... or
barely
away.
Getting out in front of the plate and hitting off the dirt versus traveling a bit farther to the grass where the bounce wouldn't be as high.
Bounce wouldn't be as high. They'd probably roll a little bit farther. And Knicks may have to have a busier day fielding. We had a couple guesses on our trivia question.
Anyone get it right?
Today's question: on this day in 1964, Jim Bunning became the first pitcher in Major League Baseball history to do what? The date was the least important part of it. We had a guess of the first no-hitter on Father's Day. It was a no-hitter. And it was a no-hitter for the Phillies over the Mets, 6-0. Why that's important? That's not the first time there'd been a no-hitter. It's important because that was the first time a pitcher had thrown a no-hitter in both the National League and the American League. As Bunning had tossed his first no-hitter for the Detroit Tigers over the Red Sox back in 1958. So he completed his second no-hitter and his first in each league when he tossed the no-hitter on this day in 1964 for the Phillies. Of course, Bunning will go on to the Baseball Hall of Fame. And
politics as well. He didn't just do baseball.
Yep, politics as well. Actually, unfortunately, passed away just about a month ago. Thanks to everyone who played along with our trivia question. We will have another one tomorrow on the New Britain Bees Broadcast Network. Meanwhile, Craig Maddox has been at the plate the entire time we've been talking about infield conditions and our trivia question. The count is full.
He's done a good job working the pitcher.
And now he lines one out towards center, a base hit. So Maddox will end this round against Knicks as he reaches base on a single.
He got on base, he worked the pitcher, and those are both positive things.
Leadoff hitter on for the New Britain Bees. The second consecutive inning they've had the leadoff man aboard, although it was by way of a walk last inning.
Last time when this happened, they sacrificed him to second because we were breaking down bunts at that point.
It was a 9-pitch at bat to Maddox, and now Bierfeld comes to the plate. I would hazard a guess that Bierfeld, who leads the team in RBIs and home runs, is not going to bunt here.
Hey, the defense might be back, so he could get on base, maybe.
Well, the funniest bunt I think I've ever seen, the most surprising bunt, was when David Ortiz used to bunt to the opposite side of the shift. He used to do it all the time against Toronto on the AstroTurf up at the Rogers Center.
We can talk about funny bounces with that, too.
Yeah, that's a whole category of funny bounces.
And bad for your knees.
Very bad. Bierfeld now ahead in the count 2-0. But Ortiz used to lay down bunts when the infield would shift around, so there'd be 3 players on the second base side of the infield. So he just bunted down the third base side and jog down to first because no one was expecting it. Third baseman would normally be where the shortstop was. Bierfeld pops this one up on the infield. Aarons, as is his right, calls off the rest of the infield. He'll make the catch right behind second base for out number 1.
You know, there was a simpler time in baseball back when they had that last scheduled doubleheader in 1903 when they didn't have these crazy shifts and things like that. They just stood in their normal position.
And that's actually come up as a possible rule change for pace of play reasons, is getting rid of the shift. Incidentally, you'll notice that most of the people proposing that are left-handed hitters, but that has been proposed along with a limit to how many mound visits there are, which exists in the Atlantic League, a pitch clock, which exists in the Atlantic League.
Pitch clocks in Major League Baseball, too, now.
That's very true.
30 seconds.
30 seconds in between pitches. In the Atlantic League, it's 12. This one is sent down the right field line, just foul. Giving chase was Miller.
The Major League Baseball pitch clock is for visits to the mound.
Visits to the mound, yeah.
They don't yet have a pitch clock in between their pitches, so you can still have a great conversation about life in between when these pitchers pitch sometimes in Major League Baseball.
Michael Nix would fit right in. So he's certainly taking his time on the mound tonight. The 4-pitch intentional walk no longer exists in Major League Baseball. They adopted the Atlantic League rule of just pointing to first base. This is grounded out towards short, could be 2. Aarons to Prince for 1. Prince sends it to first, and that will do it. It's a 6-4-3 double play. Second one grounded into by the New Britain Bees here tonight. We head to the 5th inning, 1-0 Sugarland over New Britain here on the New Britain Bees Broadcast Network.
Celebrate the history of our national.
Modern life deserves a modern way to pay. On your phone and online, so you don't miss his first birthday.
Tickets. I MasterPassed it.
MasterPass, the secure way to pay from your bank. Don't just buy it, MasterPass it.
So, Amara, you're a Verizon engineer. Tell me, what's one really good reason why the Samsung Galaxy S8 is better on Verizon?
Well, we have the largest 4G LTE network in America.
Yeah, that's a pretty good reason.
And the most reliable. And with unlimited, you get full HD video.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's 2, maybe even 3 reasons right there.
It's exactly 3.
Okay, sure, whatever you say.
If you really, really want the best, switch to Verizon Unlimited and get the Galaxy S8 for just $15 a month.
I saw you take those phones, you know.
No, you didn't.
At True Timber, we pour everything we have into the details of our patterns. We source from the land, from the grass, from the trees, from the hunt. We only use the highest quality, real-life digital photography to create our patterns, because there's a difference between looking real and being real. True Timber, where almost real isn't real enough.
Brian Pound steps in for the top half of the 5th inning. John Pettibone back out on the mound for the New Britain Bees, save for the leadoff hitter, Josh Prince. He's been very good. He's allowed just 2 hits, as has his counterpart Michael Nix. The only problem for Pettibone, hit number 1, was a solo shot for Prince as the first pitch into Pounds is strike 1 with the fastball. Sun's starting to set here at New Britain Stadium, shining into the press box as it does on a nightly basis as the 0-1 is popped up out towards right field. The entire field in shadows. Waiting for it to come down is Hinshaw. That stayed up there a while as Hinshaw will squeeze it tight for out number 1. Chris Knobloch joined by Bryce Weiler here on the broadcast today. As Albert Cordero steps in, he struck out in his first at-bat, one of Pettibone's 2 strikeouts on the night. Pettibone, one of the 4 Bs up for All-Star voting, because the All-Stars are coming. Join the Somerset Patriots and the Atlantic League All-Stars on July 12th for the 20th All-Star Game. Presented by Robert Wood Johnson Barnabas Health and Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey. Make sure to visit SomersetPatriots.com to get your All-Star tickets. Head on over to NBBs.com, click the Team tab, and all the way down at the bottom is All-Star voting. Vote for your All-Stars today. Pettibone, one of the 4 Bs nominated. Nominations came very early in the season. 4 Bs nominated at pitcher. 1 B nominated for every other position as well. For All-Star consideration. And if you really want to put Hinshaw in, write-in votes were announced today.
Just like you can write in a vote for the president, you can write in a vote for your All-Star, right?
One of those is significantly more influential, I would hope. Would hope.
For your All-Star, right?
One of those I would say. A lot less stress in their lives. So the 1-2 is fouled away by Cordero.
Politics, there's some people like that.
Those people are doing pretty well for them. 1-2 the count to Cordero. Batting from the left side, he is a switch hitter. Actually, he is a switch hitter. Travis Scott He's the only catcher listed as a left-hander, but he's playing first base tonight. So count evens at 2-2 to Cordero.
Just got caught yesterday, though, right?
No, it was Cordero and Rodriguez. Travis Scott.
Oh, they have three catchers.
They have three catchers listed, and one of their catchers plays for 2-2 the count after another foul ball by Cordero. All-Star voting, incidentally, will wrap up on Friday while the Bees are in Somerset. Their first visit down to TD Bank Ballpark.
Somerset's been here twice already.
In 3 weeks at the end of the first half. And neither team won the first half. It was Long Island that ended up winning after the two teams pretty much beat up on each other for the final 10 games as Cordero swings and misses for strike 3. Third strikeout for Pettibone. Miller comes to the plate with nobody on and 2 out. First pitch. Fastball misses away. 1-0.
Really has some good power behind his pitches. Really popping that catcher's glove when makes the catch behind the plate.
His last start, we had the advantage of a radar gun as the count 1-1. Pettibone throwing as hard as he had all year. Fastest pitch clocked at 91, 92 miles an hour, close to the velocity where he was in the big leagues. This one is blooped out towards right. It'll fall in just in front of Hinshaw, who had a long way to run. That'll be a third hit of the game for the Skeeters.
It's tough when a ball's short like that. The outfielder has to come dashing in to try and catch it. And then he has to decide, should I dive or should I just play it safely on the bounce? Because if he dives and misses it, it could roll past him and roll to the wall unless there's someone there to back him up.
Kraus did do a good job of backing him up, but Kraus had absolutely no shot. He was running parallel to Hinshaw, just in the opposite direction as they tried to converge on that ball. Prince now sends this one out towards right field over his Hinshaw. He'll make the catch on the run, and the side is retired. So a 2-out single for Sugarland, harmless. As another man left aboard, Sugarland's left on 5. We head to the bottom of the 5th. The score is 1-0 Skeeters over Bees here on the Bees Broadcast Network.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum.
Modern life deserves a modern way to pay. On your phone and online, so you don't miss his first birthday.
Tickets. I Master Passed it.
MasterPass, the secure way to pay from your bank. Don't just buy it, MasterPass it.
No bars. Oh no, looks like somebody needs a new network.
When I got this unlimited plan, they told me they were all the same.
They're not. Verizon has the largest, most reliable 4G LTE network in America. It's basically made for places like this.
Honey, what if it was just us out here?
Right. So, I ordered you a car. Thank you. You don't want to be out here at night because of the coyotes.
Okay, thanks, bud. Bye.
Be nice to have your car for some shelter. Bye.
When it really, really matters, you need the best network and the best unlimited. Just $45 per line for 4 lines.
To Kraus. Kraus walked in his first at-bat. This one is low, and the count evens at 1-1.
Bees would take a walk or any sort of a base runner here to try and get that tying run aboard.
Pitch misses inside to the right-handed hitting Kraus. 2 balls. Strike.
Can't get a signal? So annoying, right?
Yeah, and I'm late for a job interview.
Hey man, can you just mix it for like 2 seconds? Thank you. You need Verizon. They have the largest, most reliable 4G LTE network in America. It's made to work in places like this. With Verizon Unlimited, we could video chat the interview in HD right here.
Okay.
Hey man, I'll cue you.
When it really, really matters, you need the best network and the best unlimited. Just $45 per line for 4 lines.
I am a people person.
Modern life deserves a modern way to pay. On your phone and online, so you don't miss his first birthday.
Tickets. I master passed it.
MasterPass, the secure way to pay from your bank. Don't just buy it, MasterPass it.
A baseball team, the Bees, taking shape.
Buzz about New Britain's new professional baseball team today. The new team has a name.
The Bees are calling the Hardware City home.
You haven't picked up on the buzz just yet, get it? The Bees are landing in New Britain. It's Connecticut's newest baseball team.
Line drive, base hit up the middle. Coming around is Kraus. He's going to score. The throw from Dominguez is not in time. Ball game over. Bees win. Bees win.
At True Timber, we pour everything we have into the details of our pattern. We source from the land, from the grass, from the trees, from the hunt. We only use the highest quality, real-life digital photography to create our pattern, because there's a difference between looking real and being real. True Timber, where almost real isn't real enough.
Modern life deserves a modern way to pay. On your phone and online, so you don't miss his first birthday.
Tickets. I master passed it.
MasterPass, the secure way to pay from your bank. Don't just buy it, MasterPass it.
No bars. Oh no, looks like somebody needs a new network.
When I got this unlimited plan, they told me they were all the same.
They're not. Verizon has the largest, most reliable 4G LTE network in America. It's basically made for places like this.
Honey, what if it was just us out here?
Right. So, I ordered you a car. Thank you. You don't want to be out here at night because of the coyotes.
Okay, thanks, bud. Bye.
Be nice to have your car for some shelter. Bye.
When it really, really matters, you need the best network and the best unlimited. Just $45 per line for 4 lines.
Productive out now with Baca coming up. While Baca did walk in his last at bat, if he puts a bunt down now, and he is a good bunter, we'll have a runner at second with 2 outs if it's executed properly, but Baca also batting 175 on the year. Again, they'll check on Kraus. And it looked like Kraus that time was about to take the base all on his own. He's back with a dive. But he may opt to try and take the bag himself. Kraus 15 for 21 in stolen base opportunities this year. He does not go as the first pitch in for a strike. Nabbing the outside corner with a fastball. Nix a long stare down to Cordero. The pitch, again a pitch out, again Kraus going nowhere. The count evens at 1.
So just because you saw him and you thought he was going to take off, you're then going to try and do a pitch out.
So, well, at least they varied it. At least it wasn't on the first pitch this time.
It was on the second one.
Kraus is one of the most prone players to run. Keeping close is important, but at some point they're going to have to focus on Baca, who nixed walk last time, as Baca pops this one foul over the screen to land right in front of us, and that'll be 1 and 2. A bit debatable if that was going to land in front of us or on top of us.
Or off the window in front of you.
1 and 2 the count to Michael Baca. Runner at first is Kraus. This one skied out towards short. Backing up is Aarons into shallow left. He'll make the catch. That'll be out number 2. And Kajimoto will come to the plate. Kajimoto 0 for 1 with a sacrifice bunt. Bees have had exactly 0 runners past second base, and the only runner they got to second base, well, the only 2 runners, I should say, Griffin, who got there on a walk to Kraus before a double play end of the inning, and the 2-base fielder's choice by Skelton. First pitch. Kajimoto, big swing and a miss. Strike 1. As he chased a breaking ball. Looked like he was looking fastball. Nothing in 1 the count. Off and running is Kraus. Throw down from Cordero is not in time. 16th stolen base of the year for Michael Kraus as he just gets a hand in before the tag.
Cordero got that ball out of his glove quickly.
He did. It was right on target, just a hair late. Meanwhile, that was a strike to Kajimoto as he took a swing.
Swing to protect the runner a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Count now 0-2 with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. A single would absolutely score Kraus. The 0-2. This one a slow roller out towards second. Up with it Prince. He fires to Scott in time. And the side is retired. Kajimoto gets that one on the ground, but the Bees strand their 4th man on through 5 innings. We played 5 full at New Britain Stadium. The score 1-0. The Skeeters lead the Bees here on the New Britain Bees Broadcast Network.
Hi. Modern life deserves a modern way to pay. On your phone and online, so you don't miss his first birthday.
Tickets. I MasterPassed it.
MasterPass, the secure way to pay from your bank. Don't just buy it, MasterPass it.
So, Amara, you're a Verizon engineer. Tell me, what's one really good reason why the Samsung Galaxy S8 is better on Verizon?
Well, we have the largest 4G LTE network in America.
Yeah, that's a pretty good reason.
And the most reliable. And with unlimited, you get full HD video.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's 2, maybe even 3 reasons right there.
It's exactly 3.
Okay, sure, whatever you say.
If you really, really want the best, switch to Verizon Unlimited and get the Galaxy S8 for just $15 a month.
I saw you take those phones, you know.
No, you didn't.
At True Timber, we pour everything we have into the details of our pattern. We source from the land, from the grass, from the trees, from the hunt. We only use the highest quality, real-life digital photography to create our patterns, because there's a difference between looking real and being real. True Timber, where almost real isn't real enough.
Heat on a thirsty Thursday at New Britain Stadium. Get your tickets at the New Britain Stadium box office online at ndbees.com or call 860-826-BEES.
Lance Sawadsky steps in to lead things off in the top of the 6th inning. John Pettibone back out on the mound for the Bees. One more out, and he'll have thrown the most innings in any start or appearance for him this year. He's topped out at five times this year. He'll face Sawadsky, Jinsanti, and Scott here in the 6th. 1-0 Sugar Land has lead thanks to the solo home run by the first batter, Josh Prince. Each team with 3 hits. Both starters have been very good in this game. Pettibone rocks and deals. First pitch to Sawadsky, who's 1 for 2. Big hack and a miss. At a changeup. 0-1 the count. Chris Knobloch joined by Bryce Weiler here on the call. New Britain Bees baseball. This is fouled away by Sawadsky up over us. 0-2 the count. This is the 59th game of the season for the Bees. He will finish below 500 in the first half. First time they finished a half below 500 is called third strike against Sawadsky. Second time he struck out looking. Change up away. That'll be the 4th strikeout for Pettibone, who's now gone 5 1/3 innings, his longest outing of the year. That brings Anthony Jinsanti to the plate. Jinsanti in from the right side. First pitch from Pettibone. Breaking ball stays inside. Ball 1. With Pettibone's outing being the longest of the season for him, it's also his longest Atlantic League outing. So the count runs 2-0 to Jinsanti. The 2-0 misses off the plate. 3-0 the count. Waiting on deck is Travis Scott, who's 0 for 1 with a walk. Getting underneath this one is Jinsanti. Giving chase is Rosa, but that will make the seats. Bounces off the concrete and into the bleachers for strike 1.
Jinsanti's helping New Britain by swinging at the 3-0 pitch.
3-1 now the count. Jinsanti had a 26-game hitting streak earlier this year, the longest in the Atlantic League in quite some time, certainly the longest this season in the league. The lights come on here at New Britain Stadium. This one sent out towards right field. Kajimoto calls everyone off. He will make the catch at a dead sprint. That'll be out number 2.
It is the longest day of the year. It's the summer equinox today. No?
Solstice. Summer solstice.
Yes. So happy start of summer to you.
Yeah, first day of summer. It is the longest day of the year. Hopefully not the longest game of the year. Longest game of the year so far was between Bees and Sugar Land back on May 9th. It was 3 hours and 56 minutes.
One of those 6 long, hot days in Texas.
Yeah, that was a long, hot day in Texas. Felt like 2. This one grounded out towards third. Nice diving stop made by Rosa. He gets up, plants his feet, fires to first, and the side is retired. As Rosa throws out Scott, another 1-2-3 inning for Pettibone, who's been very good in this start. We head to the bottom of the 6th, 1-0. Sugar Land leads the New Britain Bees.
Bees fans, stay up to date on the latest team news.
Can't get a signal? So annoying, right?
Yeah, and I'm late for a job interview.
Hey man, can you just nix it for like 2 seconds? Thank you. You need Verizon. They have the largest, most reliable 4G LTE network in America. It's made to work in places like this. With Verizon Unlimited, we could video chat the interview in HD right here.
Okay.
Hey man, I'll cue you.
When it really, really matters, you need the best network and the best unlimited. Just $45 per line for 4 lines.
I'm a people person.
Modern life deserves a modern way to pay. On your phone and online, so you don't miss his first birthday.
Tickets. I master-passed it.
MasterPass, the secure way to pay from your bank. Don't just buy it, MasterPass it.
against Michael Nix. He's allowed hits in each of the last 2 innings, and the Bees have stranded 4 men on through their first 5 innings of at-bats. First pitch misses inside, ball 1 to Skelton, who's 0 for 1 with a walk. The Bees have they've lost one 1-0 game at home. It was a 7-inning game last July 1st to Gabby Hernandez as this is 2-hopped out towards the second baseman, Prince. He fires to first, and that will be out number 1. These have never lost a game 1-0 on the road. Last time they won a game at home that was 1-0, which obviously won't happen tonight, was May 20th, 2016. So 1-0 game's a rarity for the Bees. Certainly in the 9-inning variety.
This one might not stay 1-0.
This one sent down the right field line by Rosa. Going over is Miller. It lands just foul as it curled too much towards the corner. And Rosa will now retreat. That one didn't quite have the distance.
Not enough distance to go for a home run and too much distance to curve itself out.
It's hit off the end of the bat, which is the reason why it curved. There's literally no wind at New Britain Stadium tonight. Nix winds and fires the 0-1. Fouled directly back to the screen. A little bit of a late swing by Rosa, and the count 0-2. On deck is Craig Maddox, 0 for 1, or 1 for 2, excuse me. Rosa is 0 for 2. The 0-2 pitch, fastball high. Rosa does not offer, as that fastball was neck height for Jovan. The 1-2. This one sent out towards left field. Coming in is Pounds. He initially started back. Came in just in time to grab a dying liner for out number 2. Pounds, a infielder by trade. He made the catch out in left field for out number 2, and now Maddox will bat. Kicking and dealing is Nix. First pitch is in there for a strike to Maddox. Maddox singled in the 4th inning, was erased on the 6-4-3 double play, grounded into. By Griffin as the count evens at 1-1. Nix, full windup. A 1-1 pitch. This one hammered out towards right field. Backing up is Miller. It's over his head into the warning track. Headed for second is Maddox. He slides in there with a 2-out double. We'll see if that's an error assist to Miller. He should have had that one. But unfortunately obscured by a rod here in the booth. Can't see if he mishandled that. If he did, it's a 2-base error, and indeed it is. So an E9. And that error could be costly, as with 2 outs, a runner in scoring position for Connor Bierfeld.
Still a base runner for the Bees and a chance to hopefully tie this game.
So Bierfeld at the plate, Maddox over at second, the tying run in scoring position. First pitch misses, ball 1. John Griffin waits on deck. Nix slowing the pace again with runners in scoring position, or just runners on base in general. The 1-0. Fastball hits the outside corner, 1-1 the count. Straight fastball from Nix, not a lot of deception there, but located well. Swung on and missed by Bierfeld. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Needs to really protect the plate here, does Connor. Try and keep this at-bat going and drive that run in for second base.
1-2. Bierfeld waiting at the plate. This is popped up out towards second base. Scott waits for it. He will make the catch, and the side is retired. So the error proves harmless. And another man left on base. 5 left on through 6 innings. We head to the 7th. The score is 1-0 Sugarland over the New Britain Bees here on the Bees Broadcast Network.
Bees fans, stay up to date on the latest.
Can't get a signal? So annoying, right?
Yeah, and I'm late for a job interview.
Hey man, can you just nix it for like 2 seconds? Thank you. You need Verizon. They have the largest, most reliable 4G LTE network in America. It's made to work in places like this. With Verizon Unlimited, we could video chat the interview in HD right here.
Okay.
Hey man, I'll cue you.
When it really, really matters, you need the best network and the best unlimited. Just $45 per line for 4 lines.
I am a people person.
Modern life deserves a modern way to pay. On your phone and online, so you don't miss his first birthday.
Tickets. I master-passed it.
MasterPass, the secure way to pay from your bank. Don't just buy it, MasterPass it.
At True Timber, we pour everything we have into the details of our pattern. We source from the land, from the grass, from the trees, from the hunt. We only use the highest quality, real-life digital photography to create our patterns, because there's a difference between looking real and being real. True Timber, where almost real isn't real enough.
John Pettibone out of the game after 6 solid innings. The Bees starter in his longest outing of the year. Tossed 6 frames, allowed 3 hits, 1 run. It was earned, and it was to the leadoff man, Josh Prince. He walked 1 and he struck out 4. He cannot win. He can lose the game, which would be an absolute shame, as that was one of Pettibone's best starts, if not his best start of the 2017 season, certainly his longest start. And into the game comes Brandon Fry. Fry leads the Atlantic League in appearances. This will be his 29th in the Bees' 59th game. Overall, Fry 0-2 with a 2.94 ERA, 30 2/3 innings pitched, 23 strikeouts. Opponents batting .213 against the Canton, Ohio native, as he will deal with Aarons, Guzman, and Pounds. Here in the top of the 7th, first pitch over the inside part of the plate, strike 1. Fry did not appear in either game yesterday, a rarity. His last appearance was on Saturday the 17th. Allowed 2 hits and had a strikeout in an inning and a third of work. This one lined right back to Fry. Nice snag made by the lefty pitcher, and that'll be out number 1. Reflexive stab by Fry. It was lined right towards his right hand, his glove hand. He reached out the glove and snagged it for out number 1. So he helps out his own cause.
He was able to catch that quickly and kept it from going through, and who knows what might have happened at that point.
So 1 down, and Joel Guzman comes to plate. A pair of ground outs for Guzman, 1 to third and 1 to short. First pitch misses upstairs, ball 1. Guzman, a right-handed hitter against the lefty Fry. Fry, Nick Greenwood, and Brandon Shimmo. The only pitchers not used yesterday, along with Joe Beimel. 1-1 the count as Fry gets the swing and the miss by Guzman. He's also up for All-Star voting, as is Nate Rowe, the 1-1. Fastball just about belt high, but it misses. 2-1 the count. Another strike. The count evens at 2-2. That was a fastball in.
And a good pitch to get in because he didn't want to fall behind 3-1. Then he might have to throw a tantalizing pitch that could be hit pretty far.
This one softly grounded on a broken bat out towards short. Bach up with it. He'll loft a throw. Doesn't rush it this time as it gets Guzman, who doesn't run all that well, for out number 2.
Fortunately, no one got injured by that broken bat, and sometimes they can really distract the fielder, too.
That was a broken bat based on the sound. You heard that hollow sound of it. It actually didn't splinter at all. We just
could have
one of
cracked
the few ones.
Without
it cracked. You could hear that odd sound of the ball off the bat, but it cracked. It didn't splinter as much. We had a bat yesterday sawed off the handle, which was far more dangerous. We actually had Michael Baca get hit by a bat while we were down in Southern Maryland on the final out of the game. As the bat went to him, the ball went in the opposite direction. They get the out. It was actually against York. It was Anthony Marzy's win. Was it Marzy's win or was it Gil Blair's save? It was a lefty pitcher on the mound. Either way, Baca gets hit with the bat. The final out's made. They're hugging on the mound, and Andy Musino, the Bees trainer, is checking on the shortstop to make sure he's not bleeding.
Everyone forgot to go check on him, right? They were excited.
Yeah, hey, we won. Oh, what's happening with our shortstop? 1-1 the count to Pounds. Baca fine this time, as this one is sent down the right field line, hooking foul. It'll land in Bees bullpen. And the count is 1-2 strikes. Albert Cordero, who's struck out twice, waits on deck. Fry kicks and deals to Pounds. This one grounded out towards second. Kajimoto to his right will snag it, fire to first. And it's time to stretch here in New Britain. Another 1-2-3 inning for the Bees, this time one for Brandon Fry. And we will take a break here on the Bees Broadcast Network. Time to stretch. 1-0 Sugarland has the lead.
At True Timber, we pour everything we have into the details of our patterns. We source from the land, from the grass, from the trees, from the hunt. We only use the highest quality, real-life digital photography to create our patterns, because there's a difference between looking real and being real. True Timber, where almost real isn't real enough.
Can't get a signal? So annoying, right?
Yeah, and I'm late for a job interview.
Hey man, can you just nix it for like 2 seconds? Thank you. You need Verizon. They have the largest, most reliable 4G LTE network in America. It's made to work in places like this. With Verizon Unlimited, we could video chat the interview in HD right here.
Okay.
Hey man, I'll cue you.
When it really, really matters, you need the best network and the best unlimited. Just $45 per line for 4 lines.
I am a people person.
Modern life deserves a modern way to pay. On your phone and online, so you don't miss his first birthday.
Tickets. I master-passed it.
MasterPass, the secure way to pay from your bank. Don't just buy it, MasterPass it.
Signing up for a 10-game mini plan includes a special early entrance to New Britain Stadium, a 10% discount at Bee Hive and Company, first opportunity for 2017 playoff tickets, an opportunity to throw out a first pitch, and more. For more information and to get your mini plan today, visit nbbs.com/tickets and click on the mini plan tab, or call the box office at 860-826-BEES.
New Britain Bees baseball, it's better with the Bees.
Bottom of the 7th inning here at New Britain Stadium. It'll be Griffin, Kraus, and Hinshaw due up as a new pitcher is on for the Sugarland Skeeters. Evan Reed takes over on the mound for Nix. Nix departs after 6 innings. He allowed 3 hits, no runs. He did run into trouble with some walks, as he walked 3. He did not record a strikeout. Very rare that the Bees do not strike out, and yet he did not. Actually, it might not be Evan Reed. It is Reed. Numbers are very hard to see on the Sugarland jerseys sometimes, especially when the pitcher doesn't do you the courtesy of turning around. Sugarland doesn't have numbers on the front of their jerseys. So a little confusion, but it is Evan Reed who is indeed on for the Sugarland Skeeters, in relief of Nix, who is very good for the Skeeters. He's allowed just 1 run in 13 innings pitched against the Bees between 2 games. So taking over is Reed, his 23rd game, a 1-0 record, a 4.36 ERA. Does have a save, 20 2/3 innings pitched, 18 strikeouts, and 10 walks for Reed. Sugarland with the statistical worst pitching staff in the Atlantic League of Professional Baseball. Full 40 points behind the Bees. Bees with a 4.06 staff ERA, Sugarland 4.46. As Reed now deals with Griffin. Griffin 1 for 2, a single, and he grounded into a 6-4-3 double play. He's behind the count, 0-1 here. Reed, a right-hander from Goodyear, Arizona. Does have some major league time, but last year was with the Lincoln Salt Dogs. As another cut by Griffin comes up empty, 0-2 the count. Reed played for the Detroit Tigers 2013 and 14. The 0-2 slashed back to the screen. Count remains the same. Bees and Skeeters will conclude this series tomorrow. 6:35 start. Kyle Simon going for the Bees. He'll be opposed by former Bee Sean Gleason. Tickets available by calling 860-826-BEES, online at mbbs.com, and at the New Britain Stadium box office. This is sent out towards right center. Coming over is right fielder Derek Miller. He'll make the catch, and that'll be out number 1. It's Thursday tomorrow at New Britain Stadium. Half-price domestic beer at every single game, or every single concession stand. Every single Thursday game. It just feels like it's been a lot of Thursday games. In fact, this will be the 6th Thursday game for the New Britain Bees out of 32 total games. So a lot of Thursday games early on this year. And that is not a bad thing. First pitch to Michael Kraus. He can't hold up as a slider gets past him for strike 1. Nabbed the outside corner. Reed comes set. The 0-1 popped up out in foul ground towards the photographer's well. Giving chase is Scott, but it lands back behind the tarp and out of play. No chance for Scott there. Count runs to 0-2. Reed's thrown 6 pitches, 7 pitches, all strikes. Waiting at the plate is Michael Kraus. Reed draws to his belt. The 0-2. Fastball inside. That tailed towards Michael Kraus. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Just throw a pitch there to see if he can get Kraus to go after it. Now see what he decided to select with the 1-2 count.
Kraus choking up on the bat a little bit, so unlikely to see a home run here with 2 strikes. The 1-2. This one slash back to the screen next to the Bees dugout. Another foul ball. Coming set once again is Reed. He deals. This one grounded out softly towards second. Slows on the grass. Prince is up with it. He'll fire to first. A couple steps before Kraus gets to the bag, and that'll be out number 2. Bees' last hit came 9 batters ago. It's Michael Kraus's leadoff single in the 5th. They've had 1 base runner since. 2-base error for Maddox, although that may change. First pitch to Hinshaw. Misses, ball 1. Hinshaw's 0 for 2, has a 10-game hit streak on the line. A 1-0. Misses, 2-0. That was down and away. 1-0, Sugarland leads. The pitch. Up and in, but Hinshaw offers. 2-1 the count.
Could have made it a 3-0 count if he would have held back on that one.
That was up by the eyes.
No real chance he could hit that.
No real chance to hit it, but hard to lay off. As the 2-1 comes to Hinshaw. This one sent foul down the right field line, and the count evens.
He needs to protect the plate now, even in the count up at 2 apiece. They just need to get some base runners on and try to push him around.
They need some hits, too. Only 3 in the game. Even if that error is changed to a hit for Maddox, that'd be 4.
Need multiple base runners at some point, too.
This one lined right back up the middle, and the hit streak is continued as Hinshaw is aboard. A 2-2 single right up the middle. And now the tying run is over at first base. 11-game hit streak for Hinshaw. That brings Baca to the plate. Hinshaw has the longest hit streak of the season so far for the Bees. As action begins out in the Sugarland bullpen. The black jersey's on, hard to see the numbers, but there is action. Appears to be a left-hander. It is indeed a left-hander getting loose for Sugarland. And they will check on Hinshaw, who's barely back in time. His helmet went flying as he dove back, but he is safe. Reed checks Hinshaw over first. Hinshaw's 2 for 4 in stolen base opportunities this season as a member of the Bees. Again being checked on, again barely back, is Hinshaw. He's living dangerously. The Bees do need runs.
You don't need to get picked off, though.
Exactly. Dangerous game Hinshaw is playing. The Bees have run themselves out of a couple innings that way. Fastball over the outside corner. That's the first pitch to Baca. Hinshaw's seen more pickoff attempts to count 0-1 to Michael Baca, who's 0 for 1 with a walk. Again checking on Hinshaw is Reed, again back standing. .8:30 here on the East Coast. As Baca takes a cut at an inside fastball. And it comes up empty, 0-2 the count. Baca has 2 strikes against him. House over at first, or Hinshaw over at first. Baca swings and misses. He strikes out. That's the first strikeout by a Bees hitter today. And New Britain strands another man aboard. They've stranded on one batter in every inning except for the fourth. 1-0 Sugarland has the lead over the New Britain Bees as we head to the 8th here on the New Britain Bees Broadcast Network.
From lazy days by the shore to exciting nights on the town, Connecticut can be a
Modern life deserves a modern way to pay. On your phone and online, so you don't miss his first birthday.
Tickets. I master-passed it.
MasterPass, the secure way to pay from your bank. Don't just buy it, MasterPass it.
So, Amara, you're a Verizon engineer. Tell me, what's one really good reason why the Samsung Galaxy S8 is better on Verizon?
Well, we have the largest 4G LTE network in America.
Yeah, that's a pretty good reason.
And the most reliable. And with unlimited, you get full HD video.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's 2, maybe even 3 reasons right there.
It's exactly 3.
Okay, sure, whatever you say.
If you really, really want the best, switch to Verizon Unlimited and get the Galaxy S8 for just $15 a month.
I saw you take those phones, you know.
No, you didn't.
Sprint here in the 8th inning. Takes over for Brandon Fry, who tossed a perfect scoreless inning of relief for the Bees. And now the sidewinder Brandon Shimo is on for New Britain. Shimo making his 20th appearance. 3-1 record, a 3.90 ERA, 27 2/3 innings pitched, 23 strikeouts, and 10 walks for the native of German Pennsylvania. First pitch swung on and missed by Cordero. Fastball away from Shimo. Cordero, who struck out twice in this game. Bees trail 1-0 as they've been stymied by Sugarland's pitching so far. First 6 innings by Nix, then Reed last inning. As this is lined right back at Shimo. Up the middle, it'll be a base hit. Shimo tried a reflex catch. But more so had to duck.
Can't get a signal? So annoying, right?
Yeah, and I'm late for a job interview.
Hey man, can you just accept this for like 2 seconds? Thank you. You need Verizon. They have the largest, most reliable 4G LTE network in America. It's made to work in places like this. With Verizon Unlimited, we could video chat the interview in HD right here.
Okay.
Hey man, I'll cue you.
When it really, really matters, you need the best network and the best unlimited. Just $45 per line for 4 lines.
I am a people person.
Modern life deserves a modern way to pay. On your phone and online, so you don't miss his first birthday.
Tickets. I master-passed it.
MasterPass, the secure way to pay from your bank. Don't just buy it, MasterPass it.
Shown bunt by Miller, but the pitch misses. 3-1 the count. 3-1 coming from Shimo. Fastball, that's popped right back towards us. We'll see where it lands, right on top of us. And the count is full. So the count full now to Derek Miller. Cordero still over at first. Pitch
At True
swung on
Timber,
and
we
missed.
pour
Good
everything we
slider.
have in.
Miller swings right over it. That'll be strikeout number 1 for Shimo. 5th strikeout on the night by the Bees. $50 donated to the Prudence Crandall Center to help strike out domestic violence, courtesy of Beacon Prescriptions.
The big strikeout there is they were unable to move that runner from first to second, and they got an out of it as well.
Cordero does remain at first as Prince comes to the plate. He's accounted for the only run in this game. A leadoff home run as the first pitch is in there for a strike. His leadoff home run. Since then, we have had scoreless innings on both sides. Pitch misses high, ball 1. Long look in by Shimo. Now he comes set down by the belt. The pitch. Slider just misses off the plate. 2 balls and a strike. The 2-1, swung on and missed. Big cut by Prince on an inside slider. So the count evens at 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. Another slider, another waved at, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Shimo. Now there's a runner at first, 2 down, and a pitching change coming. Stan Clyburn out of the dugout. Shimo's night will come to an end with Lance Zawadski, a lefty, coming up. We'll see what he goes with, and it appears to be Joe Beimel. We'll confirm when we return here on the New Britain Bees Broadcast Network.
Bees fans, stay up to date on the...
Can't get a signal? So annoying, right?
Yeah, and I'm late for a job interview.
Hey man, can you just nix it for like 2 seconds? Thank you. You need Verizon. They have the largest, most reliable 4G LTE network in America. It's made to work in places like this. With Verizon Unlimited, we could video chat the interview in HD right here.
Okay.
Hey man, I'll cue you.
When it really, really matters, you need the best network and the best unlimited. Just $45 per line for 4 lines.
I am a people person.
Modern life deserves a modern way to pay. On your phone and online, so you don't miss his first birthday.
Tickets. I MasterPassed it.
MasterPass, the secure way to pay from your bank. Don't just buy it, MasterPass it.
At True Timber, we pour everything we have into the details of our pattern. We source from the land, from the grass, from the trees, from the hunt. We only use the highest quality, real-life digital photography to create our patterns, because there's a difference between looking real and being real. True Timber, where almost real isn't real enough.
Can't get a signal? So annoying, right?
Yeah, and I'm late for a job interview.
Hey man, can you just nix it for like 2 seconds? Thank you. You need Verizon. They have the largest, most reliable 4G LTE network in America. It's made to work in places like this. With Verizon Unlimited, we could video chat the interview in HD right here.
Okay.
Hey man, I'll cue you.
When it really, really matters, you need the best network and the best unlimited. Just $45 per line for 4 lines.
I am a people person.
Modern life deserves a modern way to pay. On your phone and online, so you don't miss his first birthday.
Tickets. I MasterPassed it.
MasterPass, the secure way to pay from your bank. Don't just buy it, MasterPass it.
Very good pickoff move. Swadsky's still waiting for the first pitch, now with a runner at second, however. Beimel checks Cordero. The pitch. In there for a strike. Nothing and 1 the count. Fifth fastball over the inside part of the plate. Good zip to it. Will indeed be an E1 on Beimel to advance the runner. First error for the Bees. Beimel draws to his belt. Checks Cordero at second. The 0-1. This one fouled back to the left of us. Counts 0-2. On deck is Anthony Ginsanti. The 0-2, just getting a piece, is Zawodzki off the top of the bat. It's fouled back to the screen. York now leads Southern Maryland 14-8 in the 5th inning. That game's gotten out of hand. That is, wow. That was a game that Southern Maryland was leading 6-1. The 3rd. Pitch misses away. So it's 1-2 the count. One and 2 the count. Beimel to his belt. Runner at second. Cordero, big lead, not being held on. The 1-2. Down low, 2-2 the count. Beimel tried to get Zawodzki to chase, but he does not.
Wants to put a good pitch in here to try and get the strikeout or get him to hit into an easy out and bring the Bees up in the bottom half of this 8th inning, trying to tie this game.
Zawodzki, who's from Framingham, Massachusetts, has Major League time. The San Diego Padres back in 2010. The 2-2 from Beimel. This one slashed down the left field line. That'll make the seats out of play.
Zawodzki's really making Beimel work.
Beimel likely on just to face this batter. A situational left-hander. For most of his time in the major leagues, now being used in that role by the New Britain Bees. 2-2 pitch coming from Beimel. Just misses. The entire Bees team had taken steps towards the dugout, but it just misses off the plate. And the count runs full.
Let's go, Grasso.
Full count now. Beimel comes set. And ball 4. So Zawodzki will walk. So now Ginsanti comes to the plate. Beimel will stay in the game. The pitch. Inside, it'll get away from Skelton. Both runners will advance. A wild pitch. So now there's runners at second and third.
Now there's 2 runners in scoring position.
2 in scoring position. That ball 3 pitch really threw off Joe Beimel. That first pitch was well inside. Now will intentionally walk Ginsanti. And the bases will be loaded. There's now an out at every base.
And a force at home plate.
And a force at home with Travis Scott, another left-handed hitter, coming to the plate. Scott 0 for 2 with a walk.
And boy, could the Sugarland Skeeters break the game open right now. New Britain really needs to buckle down and get this final out.
So the bases are loaded against Beimel. First pitch to Scott. This one lined back up the middle. Diving is Kajimoto. He can't get to it. It'll be a base hit. 1 run, just 1 run will score. That is a huge run. RBI single for Scott. And that run, which will be charged to Brandon Shimo, will come in to score as Cordero advances from third to home. Everybody else moves up a base.
Ball was hit too hard to get 2 in, wasn't it?
It was hit very hard, and the way Sugarland's been pitching, they're not going to risk it yet, not with 2 outs. They want to end the inning when they have the momentum with a play at the plate. So the bases remain loaded. And Aarons is at the plate. 0 for 3 tonight. First pitch, grounded out towards short, up with Ibaka. He will flip it underhand to second. Kajimoto makes sure to step on the bag, and the side is retired. Beimel gets out of the inning, but a run does come across. It's 2-0 Sugarland as we head to the bottom of the 8th here on the Bees Broadcast Network.
At True Timber, we pour everything we have into the details of our pattern. We source from the land, from the grass, from the trees, from the hunt. We only use the highest quality, real-life digital photography to create our patterns, because there's a difference between looking real and being real. True Timber, where almost real isn't real enough.
Can't get a signal? So annoying, right?
Yeah, and I'm late for a job interview.
Hey man, can you just nix it for like 2 seconds? Thank you. You need Verizon. They have the largest, most reliable 4G LTE network in America. It's made to work in places like this. With Verizon Unlimited, we could video chat the interview in HD right here.
Okay.
Hey man, I'll cue you.
When it really, really matters, you need the best network and the best unlimited. Just $45 per line for 4 lines.
I am a people person.
Modern life deserves a modern way to pay. On your phone and online, so you don't miss his first birthday.
Tickets. I MasterPassed it.
MasterPass, the secure way to pay from your bank. Don't just buy it, MasterPass it.
The scoop on your favorite Atlantic League team.
New Britain Bees baseball. It's better with the Bees.
Two to nothing Sugarland as we head to the bottom of the 8th. The Bees so far have been kept off the board as former Chicago Cub, Cleveland Indian, and Southern Maryland Blue Crab, amongst other teams. Scott Main will take over on the mound for Sugarland. Left-hander will face Kajimoto and Skelton. Likely not Roses. There's action in the bullpen behind him. Main, one of 2 lefties out of the pen, the other Dustin Richardson. uses the closer recently for the Sugarland Skeeters. As they'll turn Yusuke Kajimoto around to bat from the right side. The switch hitter was 0 for 2 with a sacrifice from the left side, and he'll lead things off. So it'll be Kajimoto, Skelton, and Rosa here in the 8th. There's Knobloch and Bryce Weiler on the call. Bees baseball. New Britain yet to score a run. They've got 4 hits. Each team's committed an error. Sugarland 5 hits and 2 runs so far. First pitch, just high, ball 1. Good zip to the fastball from Maine to Kajimoto. Scott Maine, spelled M-A-I-N-E like the state. From Palm Beach, Florida, in his 10th pro season. It's the grounder foul up the third base line from Kajimoto, and the count evens at 1-1.
Wasn't in the major leagues for too long. Had a few starts with the Chicago Cubs and the Cleveland Indians as well.
Maine comes to the set. 1-1. Over the inside part of the plate. And the count's 1-2. Kajimoto being a little too selective with that pitch. Waiting on deck is James Skelton, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. Pitch misses outside, and the count's 2-2. Another fastball from Maine. Kajimoto gets a piece of this offering, which was away. Fouls it way back to the backstop. Hard, but back to the backstop. 2-2 the count remains. Another foul ball from Kajimoto just off the edge of the bat.
He's done a good job protecting the plate here. He needs to try and get on base.
The 2-2. Swung on and missed by Kajimoto. A quick swing. He's rung up. Second strikeout for the Skeeters pitching staff. And it's been the last 2 batters, Baca and Kajimoto, as now Skelton comes to the plate. Skelton 0 for 2. He walked in the first inning. Raced on a fielder's choice. This is sent foul down the left field line, high, and landed the rooftop bar and the grill. Foul, 0-1 the count. The 0-1. Just misses low. 1-1 the count. Good eye by James Skelton to lay off that pitch.
Pitchers will put that pitch close by the zone to see if they can tantalize the hitter to go after it.
This one up by Skelton's neck. He twists out of the way. 2-1 the count. High fastball. I say no intent there. Fastball pumped in for a strike over the inside. No swing by Skelton. The count 2-2. Just missing low is Maine. Another inside pitch. Full count now to Skelton. The Bees need to get him on board. That would bring the tying run to the plate. There's action again out in Sugarland's bullpen. So right-hander gets loose. Main deals. This one hammered out towards right field. It is falling away from Miller. One hops the wall. Miller will field it. Now fumbles it a little bit, and into second base is James Skelton. A one-out double for the New Britain Bees catcher. And that'll bring Jovan Rosa to the plate with the tying run. With the first run in scoring position. So Skelton up to second. That brings Rosa up. He is 0 for 3 in today's game. And Maine appears to stay in this game. No move yet from Gary Gaetti.
No better time than now for Rosa to get his first base hit.
Now we'll have a mound visit. Rafi Montevallo, the pitching coach, coming out. Talk things over with Maine. Actually, no. He'll make the pitching change. And Maine's coming out of this game, so pitching change coming to you. The one out in the 8th inning. Runner
At True Timber, we pour everything we have into the details of our patterns. We source from the land, from the grass, from the trees, from the hunt. We only use the highest quality, real-life digital photography to create our patterns, because there's a difference between looking real and being real. True Timber, where almost real isn't real enough.
Can't get a signal? So annoying, right?
Yeah, and I'm late for a job interview.
Hey man, can you just nix it for like 2 seconds? Thank you. You need Verizon. They have the largest, most reliable 4G LTE network in America. It's made to work in places like this. With Verizon Unlimited, we could video chat the interview in HD right here.
Okay.
Hey man, I'll cue you.
When it really, really matters, you need the best network and the best unlimited. Just $45 per line for 4 lines.
I am a people person.
Modern life deserves a modern way to pay. On your phone and online, so you don't miss his first birthday.
Tickets. I master-passed it.
MasterPass, the secure way to pay from your bank. Don't just buy it, MasterPass it.
From lazy days by the shore to exciting nights on the town, Connecticut can be a pretty fun place to be this time of year. But if you get behind the wheel after even just a few drinks, things will get pretty unfun pretty fast. Connecticut has zero tolerance for drunk driving. Drive sober or get pulled over.
Have you been drinking?
On the mound wearing number 29, formerly Jeremy Barfield's number. He wore that for parts of 3 seasons with the Skeeters. Now Dane De La Rosa takes over. De La Rosa spent parts of 4 seasons in the majors with Tampa Bay and the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. We'll face Jovan Rosa, so it's De La Rosa versus Rosa. With a runner at second, Skelton. And 1 out. Maine got a strikeout, also allowed that double. 1/3 of an inning worked for the lefty. His first pitch from De La Rosa. High fastball, swung on and missed by Rosa. God, that's really confusing to say. 0-1 the count.
At least you don't have to worry about saying a cuss word out of those.
That's very true. The only other time we've had this was Anderson De La Rosa, the Barnstormer catcher. And Rosa fouled one off of that De La Rosa. A strike delivered by Dane De La Rosa over the outside corner, and Jovan Rosa's in an 0-2 hole. On deck is Craig Maddox. He's a left-handed hitter, but there's no one warming right now in the Sugarland bullpen. Rosa fouls one off to stay alive. Runner at second. Jovan Rosa is the tying run at the plate here in the bottom of the 8th. The 0-2. This one lined out towards right field, falling fast. It'll drop in for a base hit. Being waved around is Skelton. He will score, and the Bees are on the board. An RBI single for Jovan Rosa. That's your DATCO drive of the game. and the deficit is cut in half. It's now 2-1 Skeeters on the RBI single by Jovan Rosa.
It's a big run to get in there. He's cut that lead in half, but now that run that Skeeters scored the top half of this inning is very large.
Very true. As Jovan Rosa stays in the game, no pinch runner here like they did yesterday. Craig Maddox coming to the plate. That run charged to Scott Main, who was a third of an inning, allows a run. Now De La Rosa responsible for Rosa over at first, and he faces Maddox. First pitch is breaking ball in there for a strike. Maddox is 1 for 3. He's also reached on an error that may be changed to a double later on. So the Bees will not be shut out tonight, and it will not be a 1-0 game, so record book stays intact. One and one the count as the pitch misses. De La Rosa comes set and delivers. Big curveball, but it stays high. 2-1 the count. During the time we've been talking, Bryce, on tonight's broadcast, an entire new NHL team was formed as the Vegas Golden Knights drafting their team as part of the expansion draft. This is lined under the glove of Prince out towards right field. That's a base hit. Prince was going to his left, put the glove down, and it just skipped underneath. So Maddox will reach. Up to second base is Rosa. That should be a single. And now Jake McGuigan will pinch run for Rosa as he represents the tying run. So McGuigan will pinch run at second. He'll take over as the shortstop. Baca will move to third as Connor Bierfeld comes to the plate. Maddox over to first base. It is an error on Prince. And E4. Second error that's allowed Maddox to reach. First pitch from De La Rosa, curveball. This one popped up in foul ground. Scott's got it, and that'll be out number 2. A big foul out there off the bat. Bierfeld, who was swinging at the first pitch.
So at the first pitch really could have helped by taking a couple pitches and seeing what else came down the line.
So now 2 down, 2 on, and Griffin to the plate. Griffin is 1 for 3 in today's game. First pitch in there for a strike. De La Rosa deals, the 0-1, bounces up to third base. McGuigan, the throw is to the wrong side, and both runners advance. Risky base running, and it pays off, as now the tying run 90 feet away. Rushing the throw was Cordero, and he threw it to the wrong side of the bag. So now 2 runners in scoring position, including the go-ahead run in the form of Maddox. Count, meanwhile, 1-1 to John Griffin with 2 outs. The 1-1. In for a strike. Good breaking ball from De La Rosa, 1-2.
If it's close now, he better foul it off. It'd be a tough place to get called out on strikes here.
All he's got to do is get something out to the outfield. A bloop single will do it, and that'll probably give the Bees the lead. The 1-2. This one hammered out towards left field. It's headed towards the wall. It'll bounce off the base of the wall, and the Bees have the lead. 2-run score. It's an RBI double for John Griffin. 3-2, New Britain has the lead as Griffin comes in the clutch.
John Griffin got that ball and drove it out deep with those 2 runners in scoring position. They were easily able to come home on that double. And at the moment, the Bees lead 3-2 and see if they can secure the victory and take it home with them.
Bees with 3 runs in the bottom of the 8th. A come from behind showing for New Britain. As now Kraus will bat against De La Rosa. Be the 2nd straight game that the Bees have come from behind in late innings. They will intentionally walk Michael Kraus to get to Jordan Hinshaw. And now Hinshaw bats with 2 on and 2 out. The Bees this year have not had all that much success when trailing after 7, as it looks like we're about to get a pitching change here. Waiting for the move to be made. And indeed it has. So a pitching change coming to you. We'll get to that stat when we return. 3-2. The Bees have the lead.
Can't get a signal? So annoying, right?
Yeah, and I'm late for a job interview.
Hey man, can you just nix it for like 2 seconds? Thank you. You need Verizon. They have the largest, most reliable 4G LTE network in America. It's made to work in places like this. With Verizon Unlimited, we could video chat the interview in HD right here.
Okay.
Hey man, I'll cue you.
When it really, really matters, you need the best network and the best unlimited. Just $45 per line for 4 lines.
I am a people person.
Modern life deserves a modern way to pay. On your phone and online, so you don't miss his first birthday.
Tickets. I master-passed it.
MasterPass, the secure way to pay from your bank. Don't just buy it, MasterPass it.
At True Timber, we pour everything we have into the details of our pattern. We source from the land, from the grass, from the trees, from the hunt. We only use the highest quality, real-life digital photography to create our pattern, because there's a difference between looking real and being real. True Timber, where almost real isn't real enough.
From lazy days by the shore to exciting nights on the town, Connecticut can be a pretty fun place to be this time of year. But if you get behind the wheel after even just a few drinks, things will get pretty unfun pretty fast. Connecticut has 0 tolerance for drunk driving. Drive sober or get pulled over.
Have you been drinking?
Jordan Hinshaw steps in against a new pitcher, Andrew Johnston, on the 3rd pitcher of the inning. Dane De La Rosa goes a 1/3 of an inning, 2 hits, 2 runs, none earned. And he's responsible for both runners on, as Hinshaw will now bat against Andrew Johnston. Johnston, a familiar face for Bees fans. They've seen a lot of him over the past couple of years. First pitch is over the outside corner for a strike. We are very likely to see Sean Gilblair warm for the 9th inning, the Bees closer. Beimel, currently the pitcher of record for the Bees. He's got a 2-2 record on the year. He got the final out. 3 runs, bottom of the 3rd. Bryce, what is the Bees' record when they trail after 7? That one was fouled off by Hinshaw up the 3rd base line.
When the Bees trail after 7, they are 1-30. Chance to bring it to 2-30 if they can keep this lead.
Just for reference, the Bees have lost 36 games. They're only 6 of them they've either been tied or had the lead after 7. Normally, if you have the lead after 7 against the New Britain Bees, you pretty much have the game in hand, but the Bees scoring 3 times in the bottom of the 8th to take a 3-2 lead.
Those 30 out of 36 losses is 84% of their losses.
That's not good. That's really not good. Impressive math in your head, Bryce, but that's really, really bad. So the Bees really want to hold on to this one as the count's 0-2 to Hinshaw. Johnston. Delivers, and it's chopped into the Skeeters dugout.
Nice to keep on getting these runners in and give some insurance runs for Sean Gilblair if he ends up coming in.
If it's not Gilblair, it's going to be Rowe. Either way, whoever comes in next from the Bees bullpen, and there will be someone coming in from the Bees bullpen, is on to close it. This one popped foul. Guzman gives chase, as does Cordero. Cordero will reach for it, but ends up in the Skeeters dugout.
Players and coaches in there couldn't coach him enough to catch it, could they?
No, they could not. They didn't particularly get out of the way all that fast either, but I don't think it would have counted as a catch anyway. That was well into the dugout. Cordero was going for it. Count remains 0-2 to Hinshaw. Trying to get the Bees an insurance run now. The 0-2 misses away. 1-2 the count. The inning continues. It'll be Michael Baca, who's now the third baseman for the Bees. Now that Rose is out of the game, McGuigan will be the shortstop. This one chopped off the left-handed batter's box, foul. And Hinshaw stays alive. Suppose we could see Jake McGuigan at third base, but that is a very unlikely proposition. Played a couple games at third last year. Baca, much more adept at the position. McGuigan's a natural shortstop, so why not? The 1-2. This one lined out towards right field. It's going to be over the head of Miller and roll all the way to the wall. One run will score, being waved around is Krause. He's on his horse, and he scores as well. Two huge insurance runs. And Hinshaw's out at third trying to stretch a double. But he'll take it. A two-run double. The out goes 9-5. And Hinshaw is out at third as he goes sliding into third base. But the Bees take a 5-2 lead with 5 runs in the bottom of the 8th. We'll have a new pitcher on for the 9th here on the New Britain Bees Broadcast Network.
Baseball to your summer. 10-game mini plans are on sale now with the new.
Modern life deserves a modern way to pay. On your phone and online, so you don't miss his first birthday.
Tickets. I master-passed it.
MasterPass, the secure way to pay from your bank. Don't just buy it, MasterPass it.
No bars. Oh no, looks like somebody needs a new network.
When I got this unlimited plan, they told me they were all the same.
They're not. Verizon has the largest, most reliable 4G LTE network in America. It's basically made for places like this.
Honey, what if it was just us out here?
Right. So, I ordered you a car. Thank you. You don't want to be out here at night because of the coyotes.
Okay, thanks, bud. Bye.
Be nice to have your car for some shelter. Bye.
When it really, really matters, you need the best network and the best unlimited. Just $45 per line for 4 lines.
At True Timber, we pour everything we have into the details of our pattern. We source from the land, from the grass, from the trees, from the hunt. We only use the highest quality, real-life digital photography to create our pattern, because there's a difference between looking real and being real. True Timber, where almost real isn't real enough.
Closer and pitching coach on the hill for New Britain. He will face Guzman, Pounds, and Cordero here in the 9th. The Bees scoring 5 runs in the bottom of the 8th to take a 5-2 lead. Gilblair on looking for his third save of the year. He did have a save in yesterday's game too, his 2nd of the season. Overall, a 4.82 ERA, 0-2 his record. This will be his 11th game, 9 1/3 innings pitched, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts for the Bees closer, all-time leader in franchise history in saves. Grand total of 23, not that spectacular, but that's across 2 years, and he did not start last year, nor this year, as the team's closer. 1-0 the count to Guzman, who's 0 for 3 with 3 groundouts. Although, an odd stat, Gilblair took over as the closer last year after Craig Stem had 6 saves. Takes over as the closer this year after Joe Beimel recorded 6 saves. 2-0 as Gilblair misses off the plate again to Guzman. Gilblair's first save came in York on a play at the plate last week. Skelton applying the tag on a howitzer of a throw from Connor Bierfeld to end the game in York. Gilblair allowed 4 hits in an inning without allowing a run, which is beyond a rarity. The 2-1 coming from the Willimantic native. This one popped up out towards right center. Hinshaw waiting for it. It'll come down, and that will be out number 1. As expected, McGuigan, now the shortstop, Baca the third baseman for the New Britain Bees. They swap around. Bees still have options on their bench, Villaescusa and Walton, should they need them. He's coming to the plate is Pounds. First pitch misses high, ball 1. Pounds, 2 flyouts and a ground out. Now a strike pumped in there over the outside corner.
Good pitch to get in to even the count at 1-1.
The count is 1-1. Coming set Gilblair up by his hat. He kicks and fires. Good breaking ball over the outside corner. 1-2 the count. That was a fastball. It moved a bunch. But it nabbed that outside corner. The 1-2 from Gilblair just misses inside. The count evens at 2. This is lined out towards right field, hooking. It's fair. Rolls into the Sugarland bullpen. Up to second base is Pounds. That's where he'll stop. It'll be, well, it's not a ground rule double, but he pulled up as if it were. So 1-out double for Brian Pounds. Now Cordero comes to the plate.
So we're having the larger lead is important because his run doesn't really mean as much.
So Cordero steps in, batting from the right side for the first time. He scored that second run for the Skeeters in the top of the 8th. The Bees just retaliated with 5 as the first pitch misses down low, a sweeping breaking ball. Ball 1. The 1-0. Popped out towards left field. Bierfeld waits for it to come down. He circles, now makes the catch, and that'll be out number 2. So Derek Miller will be the last shot for the Sugarland Skeeters. First pitch from Gilblair to Miller. Fastball over the outside corner. That's strike 1. Gilblair trying to get that last out. preserve the save and the win for Joe Beimel. The pitch. Good slider. That was nasty. Right over the outside corner, and the count 0-2. Wouldn't be shocked if Gilblair threw that same pitch down to try and get the strikeout and end this game. Runner at second is Pounds. Gilblair on for the save. The 1-2. Slider down. Blocked by Skelton as Miller doesn't offer. At least I guessed it right. Gilblair adjusts his feet on the mound, now digs in his push-off foot, his left foot. He draws to his hat and deals. Slider inside and low, and the count's 2-2. Gilblair's having trouble with that put-away pitch right now. Pounds waits at second. He had a one-out double. Coming set, Gilblair, the 2-2 with 2 outs and a runner on second. This one lined out towards center. Krause has it, and the ball game is over. The New Britain Bees are victorious. 5 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning to take a 5-2 victory over the Sugarland Skeeters. They have won 2 games so far out of the 3 in this series, and they'll look for the series win tomorrow night here in New Britain. The score again, 5-2, Bees over Skeeters. We'll be back with the post-game show in a moment here on the New Britain Bees Broadcast Network.
Fall to your summer, 10-game mini plans are on sale now with the New Britain Bees. Signing up for a 10-game mini plan includes a special early entrance to New Britain Stadium, a 10% discount at Bee Hive & Company, first opportunity for 2017 playoff tickets, an opportunity to throw out a first pitch, and more. For more information and to get your mini plan today, visit nbbs.com/tickets and click on the mini plan tab, or call the box office at 860-826-BEES.
It's better with the Bees.
Bees fans, stay up to date on the latest team news and notes by following the Bees on social media. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/New Britain Bees, Twitter at New Britain Bees, Instagram at New Britain Bees, and follow us on Snapchat as well. New Britain Bees is the handle there. Community events, game day photos, game results, transactions, upcoming promotions, and more. Follow the Bees on social media to get the latest scoop on your favorite Atlantic League team.
New Britain Bees baseball. It's better with the Bees.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Cooperstown is where you, your family, and your friends can relive baseball's greatest moments and honor the all-time greats of the game. Plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org.
Come see why it's better with the Bees. Connecticut's most affordable, family-friendly baseball. Great action and even better memories every time out. Tickets start at $5. Call 860-826-BEES or visit nbbs.com.
New Britain Bees baseball. It's better with the Bees.
Thriller in New Britain as the Bees score 5 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning. They take this one against the Sugarland Skeeters by a 5-2 score. When pitcher Joe Beimel, his 3rd win of the year, he improves to 3-2 on the 2017 season. Dane De La Rosa takes the loss. He's 0-2. Sean Gilblair, his 3rd save of the year in a game that took 2 hours and 43 minutes in front of just under 3,000 here at New Britain Stadium. The Bees trailed the entire game until the bottom of the 8th, especially after the leadoff home run by Josh Prince, his 3rd home run of the year against New Britain, his 5th overall. Then there'd be no scoring for either sides as starters John Pettibone, who went the first 6 innings, and Michael Nix, who also went the first 6, traded zeros for the final 5.5 frames that both of them were in the ball game. Pettibone ended up finishing with 6 innings pitched, his longest outing of the season, allowing just 1 earned run and striking out 4. Nix walked 3, did not strike out a batter, but allowed just 3 hits through his 6 innings of work. In the 8th inning, the Sugarland Skeeters would get another run. Brandon Schimmo going 2/3 of an inning. He allowed a leadoff single to Albert Cordero. He was lifted after striking out a pair of hitters, and in came Joe Beimel. Beimel walked Lance Sawadsky, intentionally walked Anthony Ginsanti, and allowed an RBI single by Travis Scott. That made it 2-0. And at the time, we thought that was going to be enough for the win, the way that Sugarland's bullpen was pitching. Then came the bottom of the 8th, and we were proven wrong. The Bees entering tonight's game were 1-30. When trailing after 7, they are now 2-30, thanks to what happened in the bottom of the 8th inning. Bees sent 8 men to the plate. A 1-out double by James Skelton was followed by a RBI, or a single by Jovan Rosa. Maddox reached on an error, and a 2-run double for John Griffin pushed 2 more runs across. At the time, that made it 3-2 Bees. Then Jordan Hinshaw, a 2-run double after Michael Krause's intentional walk. He was thrown out trying to stretch it to a triple. 9-5 the out, but he will certainly take that. So that ended the 8th inning with 5 runs coming home for the New Britain Bees. In the 9th, Sean Gilblair allowed a double, but got 3 flyouts, 1 to each field, right, left, and center in that order to end the game and send the crowd home happy here in New Britain. With the win, the Bees improved to 23-36. They are now 10-21 at home. That's their 10th win here on home turf. Meanwhile, Sugarland now 26-33 on the year. Send things over to Bryce. Bryce, any final thoughts on tonight's game? A good win for the New Britain Bees.
It was good to see how well the Bees were able to fight back. They got down, giving up that solo leadoff home run in the top of the 1st, and then scoring 5 runs in the 8th. That's something they've done well the past 2 games, finishing off that doubleheader with the 7-3 victory yesterday, and now winning this game 5-2. So really getting some positive things going here, finishing off this first half of the season, and then transitioning into the all-fresh second half of the season.
So the Bees taking the win here. They've secured at least a split of this 4-game series before heading out on their 7-game road trip, which starts on Friday against Somerset, then down to Lancaster on Sunday night for 4 games against the Barnstormers. For my broadcast partner tonight, Bryce Weiler, my name is Chris Knobloch. The final score for the final time, New Britain a 5-2 victory over the Sugarland Skeeters. We'll be back here at the ballpark tomorrow night, 6:35 first pitch, 6:20 the pregame show, as the Bees host Thirsty Thursday. Get your tickets by calling 860-826-BEES, online at MBBs.com, and at the New Britain Stadium box office. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday night. We'll see you at the ballpark tomorrow for Thirsty Thursday with the New Britain Bees. And the series finale is Kyle Simon takes on Sean Gleason here at New Britain Stadium. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, everyone.